I got like 5 honorable mentions, but the list is, and it's not gonna be your typical list. You know, like your typical list where people got the usual Jay-Z and you know Ice Cube and all that. Nah, this list is gonna be different because I got like a couple of
Hold on,
underrated. No,
hold, hold on for 1 second.
all right, do your thing.
I'll do a quick video with y'all right quick. Wow, what's up? Oh, my fault. I'm listening.
It's all good. Samuel, what up? Shout out to you, yo. Day one supporter. That's what I like. Day one supporters, not these fair weather fair weather ass fans and shit. But I got a couple of underrated classic debuts in here. Like I wanted to do not the groups this time. We could do that for like another time. But I want to do just like the solo artists. Just the artists with like just by themselves, not like with a group or multiple partners and you know what I mean. So
Yeah, I
that's
definitely
why
get you.
that's why I named it like this. Because then if we did like top 25 of all time, that would have been a harder list.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I just like yo, just let's just do the solo artists first, and then we can come back and do the groups later. And man, it's gonna be hard, yo. And I don't got them in no order, so it's like whatever one I pick out, that's what it is. I don't got Illmatic don't have to be number one, or Doggy Style don't have to be number one. It's just whatever order it is. Just top. Our favorite 25 debut albums of all time.
Yeah, and just to let you know, mine might just mine might just be in chronological order and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up. It's all good.
Yeah. Cause
I don't give shit. I'm like, we're gonna get kicked out of the hip hop community because
yeah, I kind of wanted to approach this list differently because I didn't just want to list like the usual Illmatics or the Ready
right,
to Guys as my number one because there's actually pretty other debuts that I kind of prefer over them, but they're not
right.
denying the impact.
Well, I got Ready to Die and Illmatic on mine, but it's not in any order. So there could be one, two, five. That could be the last one I pick out. The first one, you know what I mean? So it's not in no order. It's just like the 25. Like a lot of them are like my favorite that may not be other people's favorite. So you know what I mean?
Got you, definitely got you.
But I do wanna mention five of them, like the five honorable mentions that's not on the list.
Okay.
Number one, I got Saigon from debut album. Great
Ooh.
story never told. I love this album. I think it's a modern day classic. I think it's his best album by far. Compared to,
Okay.
I know he got like two other sequels for this. He got part three. I forgot the name of that one, but definitely his best album in my opinion. Eric, what up? What up? How you doing? Stay safe. Um, modern day classic. The second one I want to mention is Jada Kiss first album, Kiss the Game Goodbye. Love this album. Again, his best album in his discography. The production by Swizz and DJ Shock and Ding. I love it. Great album. Just Blaze did some joints on here. Um, Beanie Siegel, his first album, The Truth.
Okay.
Love this album. One of his best. My favorite would be um, I want to say The Becoming and the second album. But this is definitely an underrated debut album. I love this album. Definitely one of his best albums. And of course, I gotta mention Big L. Rest in peace, Big L.
All right.
Definitely a solid album. It's not to me. It's not. I would never put this. I mean, for me, I would never put this in like my top 10 or top five. I know a lot of people do, but I definitely think it's a solid album, and it's his only album anyway. So definitely have to mention this album. So that's my honorable mention. Now the actual list. Now I gotta start off with this artist here from Brooklyn, Little Kim, hardcore,
Mm.
classic album. Love this album. We discussed this a long time ago. Um, just like Kim and Foxy definitely did their thing for the '90s. And even though she wasn't on Bad Boy, she was heavily influenced with Puffy on here and Biggie and Junior Mafia, and I love this album. The production is great. Big Mama's thing and No Time and Queen Bitch, one of my favorite tracks on, probably my favorite track on the album. And love this album. Definitely a classic. To me, it's her best album. Notorious Kim was okay, but that feels in comparison to this album. But definitely love this album. Classic joint. What you got for number 25?
All right, I'm gonna kick things off. I'm gonna take it back to '85 with LL Cool J with Radio. Um,
Oh,
yeah, definitely
okay.
one of my favorite. Believe it or not, this is really one of my favorite LL albums and stuff like that. I just love
Right.
the freshness of this whole album. Like I can't live without my radio. Rock the Bells. Like everyone remembers the performances he did, like on Crush Groove. Um, hell, even the shit he did on when he performed, I can't live without my radio on Soul Train and shit like that.
Right.
Dear Yvette, oh my fucking god, love that shit.
Mhm.
Rock the Bells. But like the original 12-inch version, that's the one I prefer to keep it a buck with you.
Right.
So yeah, man, definitely very dope album.
Okay. So that's your number 25, or LL.
Yep. Like I said, mine's just chronological order. So
So is that your favorite LL album, or that's just your favorite like one of your favorite debut albums?
it's one of my favorite debut albums and shit like that. 'Cause you know my favorite LL is Mama Said Knock You Out.
Oh yeah, that's mine. Definitely. That to
Yeah,
me is his best album. I love that album.
facts. No bad tracks on that one, in
Oh
my
no.
opinion.
Marley Marl was in his bag on that.
Whew.
Now this one for number 24. I know this one's gonna cause controversy because I mentioned this before, and I love Brand Nubian. I've been a fan of theirs since the first album. As far as their solo stuff, I love Wild Cowboys from Sadat X. I never really paid attention to Sadat X, to Lord Jamal's solo stuff. But Grand Puba to me has one of the most underrated debut albums to me in rap history, and I think Real to Real is a classic album. Production all done by himself. He didn't run out there and get no big name producers. Only collabs he have on is a track with Kid Capri called Back It Up, and he has Check It Out with Mary J. Because he was on for What's the 411 with her on that title track, and I
Yeah.
love this album. I think it's a classic. I think like people don't mention this album at all. They shit on it. I've heard people say Wild Cowboys is better than this, but I think this is better than Wild Cowboys. To me, I
I
think
have to agree with you on that.
I think it has better songs and better production, and I only to that X classic. Like his other albums, I've heard his other albums. That wasn't good. The only other album I liked from him was the Agua album that Diamond D produced, and that
Yeah.
wasn't like a great album either. Definitely that's clearly his only classic album, but I definitely feel like Real to Real should be mentioned more. It's highly slept on. You got joint like I said, you got joints like Back It Up, you got Check It Out, Check the Resume, the title track Real to Real, Proper Education, a great debut album, and definitely had to mention this joint. I thought about when I was doing this list. I thought about this first because I was like, yo, I don't want to make a list with full of like the same old predictable joints. I want to put a lot of underrated debut albums on this list, and this was the first one that came to mind. So definitely shout out to Grand Poop.
Yeah, man. Because even though I love Wild Cowboys with a fucking passion, lately in like recent months, Real to Real has been growing on me and shit like that. So
Right.
yeah, I definitely agree with you on that.
Eric said he never seen that before. You never seen the Real album before?
Really?
That's what he said.
Oh shit, Eric,
Yeah,
man.
I think it's out of print, right? But this came out in '92.
It was.
It might be out of print.
It might still be in print. It might be hard to come by.
Right.
Cause I think it got recently re-released a couple years ago too.
I actually got this on New Year's. I got this on New Year's Day of 92 when when I went like after Christmas shopping and got that shit.
Got you. Okay. All right. So our next album. This might come to a surprise for a lot of people. Like I said, there's no particular order. It's just chronologically. I'm gonna go with MC Light with Light as a Rock.
I got that on vinyl. Great
Same.
album.
Same.
How
Yeah,
come I didn't think about that one?
I'm kind of shocked too because
I know, but I didn't think of pulling any out from the vinyl. I just went for the CDs first. So
oh shoot. I mean, yeah, yeah, because
mhm.
we gotta talk about that album soon too. So
Oh
that's
yeah,
why
for
I
sure,
just wanted to mention
for
this.
sure, for sure.
Yeah, definitely a very influential debut album from Light. Um, Audio 2 and King Chill were definitely in their bag with the production and shit like that. Like you had
Right.
joints like A Light as a Rock, I
Mhm.
Cramp to Understand You, Paper Thin. Oh, don't even get me started on Paper Thin. Of course, 10% This when she went after Antoinette.
Right.
Even though I prefer Shut the Fuck Up Ho over that one, but
Oh yeah.
yeah, because no one I'm gonna talk about Shut the Fuck Up Ho in a minute, but yeah, this is a very dope album. My only gripe, I just wish there was like the mixing was just a little better. That's all my only gripe about it. But yeah, Light as a
Yeah.
Rock is definitely a very
A
raw
lot of
album
um,
completely.
a lot of '80s albums, they were badly mixed. Even like the early '90s stuff. So
True.
you know, I'm actually holding one of those bad mixed albums in my hand right now. But now, number 23, I got another. I don't want to know. I don't know. I don't know if it's underrated. But it's just an album I don't hear nobody mention. Fat Joe, Gangster, love this album.
Ooh.
Classic debut album. Like I said, like the mixing is not great. Like they do need to remaster this because it's very light on the bass. But you got joints like the Gangster and shit is real and Shorty got a fat ass, Flojo, Watch the Sound, love this album, Lord Finesse and Diamond Dean on the beats, Showbiz. You can't go wrong with DITC, like on any album. Like I
Right.
think they had like some of the made some of the best albums over the '90s. Big L first album and OC first album, this album. Just classic joints, man. Love this album. Definitely one of my favorite Fat Joe albums. A classic.
Okay. Yeah, man. That Represent album, I love that shit. I think
Yeah,
that's the only album from his golden period I still don't have in my collection. Believe it or not, I need to get
right.
it. Um,
It should be available. Is it? It's not open, right?
yeah, I mean it's cheap online. Don't get me wrong, I can still
Right,
get it anytime. But
right.
yeah, I just always realize it's always going to be there, but I'm slipping because a lot of these artists or a lot of these controversial, they'll just overhype, overprice certain
Oh,
shit. Like
right.
I just saw a copy of Q-Tip's Amplified for $50.
You was telling me about that.
Yeah, like
Unbelievable.
dead ass, I ain't paying over $50 for. And I love Q-Tip, but not no
Mm.
for damn Amplified. Fuck out of
Yo,
here.
I pay, and it's $50 now.
Yeah, like
I
44,
paid.
50.
I
Yeah,
got amplified on Amazon like back in 2016. It was like $7.
you said $7.
Yeah, when I got
That's
it on
crazy.
Amazon, it was nowhere near the $50.
Yeah, it's $50 now. Shit.
That's crazy. I wonder why. Like why the sudden jump in price of that? Because he's not dead or nothing. So
But that's it's still like a relatively like a lot of his solo albums are kind of relatively rare a little bit.
right.
So
Are they? So Renaissance Man is out of print too.
I believe Renaissance. I don't know. I think it's still in print, but it's kind of hard to come by.
Mm,
Yeah, but I know
that's
Kamal is out
crazy.
of print. Amplify is out of print. So I know those two are.
Right.
Shit.
Yeah, Sam. All three. His first three are classic. Definitely. Fat Joe.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah.
All right.
What's up? Number 20. We at the 23. What's number 23?
They Daddy Kane, Long Live the Kane.
Nice. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I had to choose one Juice Crew album, for this
Uh,
list.
right.
My closest pick was Master Ace's Take a Look Around, but I can't
Right.
deny Long Live the Kane in terms of debut albums, Kane Lane, the fucking blueprint, for all these MCs, like from Jay-Z to Nas to Biggie, and so
Right.
on and so on. Um, yeah, man, very dope album. Like on the Bucket Tip, Just Rhyming with Biz, the Raw remix,
Right.
set it off like classic album. Like his first two albums are my favorite albums from Kane. and shit like that. Yeah, man, definitely dope album. There's been some talk that even Big Daddy Kane did some production on this album too, and shit like that. Cause he did an interview, and shit like he said he did some production on this album too and shit. So yeah, just throwing that shit out there.
What album would you say that Kane fell off? Because I always see a different. People. Some people say After Taste of Chocolate. Some people say Prince of Darkness.
Well, see, it's kind of weird to me because yeah, Taste of Chocolate, that was just a bad album that kind of laid a dent in his career, but he kind of rebounded a little. He rebounded with Prince of Darkness and
Right.
his the '93 album. It's
Looks like a job for it.
so yeah, looks like a job for it, but it wasn't anything touching the first two albums.
Right.
Because even Prince of Darkness has some R&B tracks to it, you know.
That was his downfall when he started doing like shit like Very Special
Oh
and
my
Groove
god.
Groove with Me and Loving You. I was like, yeah, that's when he started to go down to me. Cause
Oh,
even on those albums, like I still like Prince of Darkness. I think it's solid, but when he was picking like Groove with It to be his first single, I'm like, nah. And then Loving You, I'm like, nah. He clearly going for radio play. You know
yeah,
what I
man.
mean? And
Because
you know,
that was the down part about the whole album with the singles and shit. Because
exactly.
if you
And
would have
it's a good album. It's just the wrong singles he picked.
exactly, man. Because if he would
You
have
know,
picked like the Love in You, the remix, you know, with that Prince sample,
right, right,
if you would have done a video for that, oh,
right.
oh
And
wait,
he
hold up.
he sampled the loose ends joint.
Yeah, that was loose ends. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, the hanging on the string joint. Yeah, that's the joint they were playing for the video. I'm like, well, why you didn't put that on the album?
Shit, there's a
You
lot
know?
of MCs that fall victim in that shit, man. Like, especially when we talk about these group debut albums, because whoo,
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of motherfuckers have me bent.
They picked the wrong singles, yo. You know what I'm saying? He's like Taste the Chocolate too. It's like he went in like a New Jack Swing mode with I Get the Job. People was shitting on that.
Yeah, you mean but I did like the song It's Hard Being the King. That's my
That
shit.
was dope. That was dope.
Yeah, that's my fucking shit.
Right. Where we at? Number
22.
22. Okay. All right, number 22, I got joint from 2000. Definitely love it. I don't know if it's underappreciated. I think it's one of his, okay, because to me this artist has more than one solid album, but his first one definitely is a classic to me. Prodigy, HNIC, classic. Love this album. Keep It Though. That was the first single. Love that joint. Alchemist, one of my favorite producers of all time. Top 10 easily. You got like joints like what's the joint with Cormega? Three. You know what's crazy? I had the bootleg for this album, and it wasn't called Three on the bootleg. It was called like some other shit, like 3 a.m. or some shit like that. And
It's been
you
a
got,
while.
yeah, I had the bootleg for that, and YBE with BG and the Veterans Memorial, Trials of Love, Wannabe Thugs Will Have It. Just a solid album. Alchemist did his thing on here, and Easy LP and some various producers. Havoc is on here doing some beats. Just a classic debut album, in my opinion. And I love HNIC 2. I love that. That was a great album as well. HNIC 3 was, it had some okay songs. It wasn't great, but he definitely probably did his thing as a solo artist, man. So rest in peace to him.
Yeah, man, legend. All right. My next pick, I'm gonna go with Queen Latifah with All Hail the Queen.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think Eric had mentioned that Queen Latifah joint.
Yeah, I just saw it on the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. In my opinion, this might be a very bold claim.
Uh-huh.
The greatest album by a female rapper. Period.
Really?
Period.
Tell us why you think that, Rich. Because I mean, I love Latifah. That's not my favorite Latifah album though. But that easily could have went on here, but I was like, nah, that's not my favorite Latifah album.
Well, see, it's not my favorite Latifah album too, because that honor goes to Black Rain. But
Yes, that's
like
my
I
favorite.
mentioned with the Scarface review, it's her most essential album because of the
Mm,
fact that she pretty much she pretty much just went in on all the tracks. She
right.
was talking her shit, doing the battle rap. Then it had like a nice balance between the battle rap and the house kind of shit. And then with her
Mm,
singing and shit. And mind you, Latifah is not a bad singer too. And
right.
production was very dope. Like, yeah, Prince Paul, 45 King, KRS One, my friends. Daddy
Uh,
O, Sonic, Louis Vega, like a damn near all-star production crew and shit like that too. Like, man, like songs like Inside Out, The Pros, Wrath of My Madness, Mama Gave
mm,
Birth into the Soul Children with De La motherfucking Soul, Evil That Men Do with Karis One, like, again,
mm.
not a bad track on this album and shit. Not a bad track.
Have you ever, not to cut you off, have you ever heard of the have you ever heard the Primo remix for Wrath of the Madness?
Oh, yes, yes.
Ah, yeah. That should have been on the album.
It should have been.
Yeah.
And yeah, man. And the album cover too is just iconic.
Uh-huh.
Like at that time, what female rapper was doing an album cover like that?
Right. Well, only the queen.
Only
Only the queen.
shit,
That's why she's a queen.
for real, man. Like,
She opened a lot of doors for these artists like Megan Thee Stallion to do her thing now. So
yeah, yeah. I would definitely say that, man.
and still doing it. I just seen that newer joint she did with K Slade. Still killing it.
I need to hear that shit.
Yeah. It's just K Slade's Latifah, Jadakiss. Forgot who else was on there. Somebody I think is Styles on one of them. Somebody else was on that joint on the K Slade
Oh,
album. But she still doing that thing.
I actually heard that shit because I know it had
Mm.
like I think Styles was on it too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I think
Jada.
I heard that. Yeah,
Yeah. There's a video for it.
yo, a Latifah album with Ninth Wonder production would not be a bad
Mm.
idea if you think about that.
Yeah. But see he got a Rhapsody though. That's the thing.
I mean,
You know?
true, but just a thought. But
How,
that's
how do you how you feel about the second album, Nature with Sister? Was that good?
underrated as fuck.
I think so. I think
And
definitely underrated.
it's funny too because people want to crave and love Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, but Latifah was doing that shit way before Lauryn Hill. Like,
Yeah, but see, with I think with Lauren, it was a nice balance of the singing and the rapping and pretty much what Drake now, but Lauren does it better. And it's like that's why you have like people can't figure out whether to put it in R&B or rap. It's a fusion of both. That's just how the talent that Lauren Hill brought to the Fugees.
true. But at,
You
at the
know,
same time too, it's like when this album came out, a lot of people didn't know whether to call it a hip hop album or an R&B album too.
right? Yeah, like I noticed that like when like Latifah was dabbling a little bit with the singing, and then she didn't really like she did it here and there, and then like she like I think like after Black Rain is like when she really decided to do like the R&B's like she did it on the Order in the Court album a lot. She was singing on that album a lot,
Oh
and
yeah,
then she did the jazz album, and then now she does that mostly than rapping.
right.
You know, definitely a legend. Um, where we at number 22?
Um, 21, I believe.
21. My bad. Okay,
You good?
number 21. And this is I've talked about this album before. Love this album. To me, it's a classic. Gotta go to the West Coast. Warren G. Regulate the G Funk era. Love this album. This
Yeah.
album saved Def Jam, people. This saved Def Jam. Warren G saved Def Jam by himself. Let's put respect on Warren G. He got a documentary for a reason. Okay?
Right.
Like summer '94. I had this album in heavy rotation. It was this album, Aaliyah first album. I had the Grave Diggers, 6 Feet Deep. That was in heavy rotation. And this is like summer '94. So I'm like before Ready to Drop, and I had Illmatic in rotation, but this was my go-to album in the summer. That's how dope it was. Like He saved Def Jam by himself. It wasn't Jay Z and Public Enemy and you know what I mean. That they came later. Jay Z and them came later. You know what I'm saying? And did all the production by himself, even though Dr. Dre's his stepbrother. Said no, Dre, I'm gonna handle this on my own and bring my own, G funk to the genre, and gather this people and the five footage, the Dove Shack, and made this dope ass album. And people still don't give him the credit that he deserves, even with a documentary out. I don't get it. Like he wasn't the great on the mic. He wasn't the best on the mic, but he did his thing, man. Like he was in his pocket. And I always loved this album. I went to see Warren G the same year in '94 in concert when he came on tour to New York, and I still got that concert ticket. And he put a hell of a show on for the Garden. So definitely big up to Warren G. Definitely one of my favorite personal classics. This DJ, Do You See, of course, Regulate with the late great Nate Dogg. Rest in peace to him. Just a solid album. So I definitely think this album deserves more recognition when it comes to West Coast classics, and I have to put this on my list.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely. Warren G, regulate G Funk, and shit. And we're gonna stay in the West Coast with my next pick. Well, some people want to call it West Coast album. Some people say it's a Southern album with West Coast, but it's the DOC. No one can do it better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very,
So,
very, very. Yep, very dope album. Very underrated if you ask me.
right,
Cause
I
like,
agree.
yeah, man, like a lot of people, they always want to say like, the DOC. He was just best known for writing for Dre and Snoop, but nigga was dope on the mic too and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
And
yeah,
for a West Coast album, like West Coast album at the time and shit like that. I mean, it didn't really talk about the traditional like guns and violence and shit. He was on that lyricist shit, like that battle rap shit. You know what I'm saying? Little storytelling here and
right,
there.
right,
Um, what else? Everyone knows it's funky enough. Everyone knows that song. Um, the grand finale with NWA. Whew!
fire.
Ren killed it. I don't care what no one says. Ren killed it. Portrait of a masterpiece. Let the bass go. Lend me an ear. Definitely, excuse me. Definitely a very, very, very dope track right here. To me, I would call this like it feels definitely has a good mixture between like the DOC style and NWA style because Dre was really getting into his production game around this time too, and
Right.
all members definitely contributed vocals and stuff like that. And I want to say the grand finale was the last track Ice Cube was in NWA before he bounced and shit.
Right,
So
right.
yeah, I want to say that.
Dope. Definitely a dope. That's another album I don't hear too many people mention when it comes to classic debuts.
Exactly, man. They just don't know.
Definitely a dope album. All right, we had number 20.
Hmm.
Number 20. Another underrated album from a guy that left well, didn't leave a group. He basically was forced to go solo because his partner was incarcerated. And I think he made a classic debut album talking about Nori, Nore, classic album. Love this album. One of the best from 1998. You got joints like Band from TV, classic collab, probably top five, top 10 of all time, done by Swiss Beats. Nore, the title track, that was the first single actually. Love that. Fiesta, 40 Island, Mathematics was dope. Body in the Trunk with Nas. That should have had a video. Great joint. I Love My Life with Call Time, for Call Time Wish. Great track. The production by Easy OP and Swizz and so many people on here, man. Like Cameron, Buster's on here, Split Star, a classic debut album that doesn't get enough mention. I can mention this album. Love it. I like my album. Right.
Yeah, man, I got that shit on vinyl myself and shit.
Dope.
You already know. All right, yeah, we're still gonna stay in the West Coast. We got Ice Cube with America's Most Wanted. Oh,
Yes.
yes, man, I love this album, man. Definitely love this album. Um, when it comes to revolutionary, when it comes to like not giving a fuck, this is the album I fucking play and stuff like that. This is Ice Cube at his rawest and hungriest form. Like his first four albums are my favorite, but this album and Death Certificate, always found Hugh at his rawest form and shit, just unapologetic. The fact that he had the balls to have fucking the Bomb Squad produce the majority of his album
Right.
after leaving NWA, like that's crazy, man. To this day, crazy.
Definitely.
Um, yes, sir. Favorite songs. Um, what's that one song? Who's the Mac? Classic. Fucking what they hitting for. You can't fade me. What else? What else? Loki, I kind of dedicate "You Can't Fade Me" to NBA YoungBoy, but the title track "America's Most Wanted." The nigga you love to hate, man. Oh shit, like that. Just that beat alone, like that. Oof. There's a lot of dope
Fire.
shit. Um, if you guys get like the re-release 2003 issue, which I have, it comes
Mm.
with his debut EP, "Kill at Will," and stuff
Right.
like that too. And that has songs like "Jacking for Beats,"
Mm-hmm.
"Get Off My Dick and Tell Your Bitch to Come Here" remix, which I believe Flavor Flav was on the remix. So man, yeah, definitely a very, very, very dope track right here and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
That was big.
You said what?
Jacking for Beats. That was big. That was real big over here. Like when he did the video for that, I
Mm,
saw that video every day on Video Music Box. They played it every day over here, and because he was like freestyling over like the EPMD, so what you're saying beat, and the Public Enemy joint. So that
yeah,
was a big hit over here when he went solo.
yeah, definitely, 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 man.
Oh yeah. So great pick.
Appreciate it.
95. I'm going with we are 19.
Yeah,
19. I'm going with 95 release, Mac 10 debut album, Fire. Love the production from Ice Cube on here. Chicken Hawk and West Side Slaughterhouse. Shout out to Common. That's one of the East West beefs. And Folk Life, of course, and Mozzie Wazzy. Solid album. Mac 10, to me, he's underrated as a lyricist. It was like him and Cube. I think they were like the best in version. But definitely a great banging West Coast album. I love it. And yeah, this was also big over here in New York at that time, especially when they came out with Westside Slaughterhouse and that video for it when they like in the had like the aprons on and shit with the blood in it and all that.
right.
Definitely a banging album. Love this album. Salute to Mac 10.
Yeah, man. Like I only heard his debut album and shit like that, man. That shit to this day goes hard as fuck. On the
Yeah,
band. That's my shit.
that's
That's
still
the shit, boy. Oh. Hmm. All right. So I recently did a review on this album. I'm not gonna spend too much time. It's Scarface, Mr. Scarface is back.
right.
Yeah, this was the debut album he came out with. After, well, he was still in the Ghetto Boys, but they took a little break and shit like that to do solo ventures. And yeah, this album came out. Very, very dope album. It pretty much broke down the barriers for your favorite rap album, if you ask me.
Right.
Like songs like The Pimp, A Minute to Pray and a Second to Die, Mr. Scarface, like Money and the Power. Like everyone knows that shit right there. Like, yeah, this is a very dope album.
Hmm. No doubt. Number 18. I don't care what nobody says. This man's first album is a classic compared to all the other bullshit that he dropped after that. I know because I bought all the other bullshit that he dropped and I had to throw it away. This is his only classic album, Harlem World, Mace. Definitely a classic album. Okay? Get confused. Mace can spit. You know, everything else that happened, bro, that was on him. But his first shit, he was in his head. Okay?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It feels so good. And tell me what you want. And yeah, so many the players way with Equal and MJG. Fire album. The production, top notch from the Hitman and Puffy. You know, you got Jermaine Dupri on here, Little C's, you know, Cheat on You, that was a dope joint, you know, him and 112 and Little C's, you know, Busta Rhymes is on here, DMX, so many people, man. Total, love this album. This I was banging this shit like crazy back in 90 when this shit dropped, man. Like 97, my bad. But definitely a classic. All this other shit, Double Up and that Welcome Back, all that shit was trash. Did not like it. This is his only album worth mentioning. The only time I'll probably even talk about this album, but definitely a classic album.
Got you. Yeah, man. I have to agree with you on that. Harlem World, that's the only Maze I can listen to. Like, shit, I don't even remember Double Up. I have to re-listen to
Oh
that.
Lord, that was bad, and that was bad. I don't even know why he made that album. Like that was just like a throwaway.
That's probably more Puffy's vision, if you
Nah.
ask me.
I actually when I heard it, I actually threw it away. That's how bad it was. A throwaway album. You hear it and then you throw it away.
Shit. Yeah, man. Now this next album is gonna be a very big surprise to a lot of people. When it comes to this rapper, I hear a lot of people kind of want to neglect this album, and I don't understand why. Because at the same
Mm,
fact, like I feel like when it comes to his album discography, a lot of shit he was talking about is still going on
right,
today.
right.
It's Tupac with Tupacalypse Now.
Nice.
Yes, the most underrated Tupac album.
I agree.
And here's the thing: there's a lot of
Uh,
Pac fans, but they are Pac Death Row fans and shit like that.
right,
And
right,
I hate those motherfuckers because they act like when a nigga went to Death Row, he just made some of his best shit there. But
right.
Apocalypse Now, man, like whether y'all like the mixing or the beats or not, it's definitely like with America's Most Wanted, Tupac at his rawest form and shit. Like
Yeah.
crooked ass nigga with Stretch. Brenda's Got a Baby. Um, my favorite song, If My Homie Calls, man.
Mhm. Love that.
Traps. Like this is the bit like he was definitely down. They definitely had like a good mixture with the digital underground sound
Right.
and the live squad sound and stuff like that too. So and
And
it's kind of
and
interesting. Oh, go ahead.
mm. No, I was saying, see, I followed Pac since Humpty Hump, since the Humpty Dance, 'cause, like he was like the background dancers for them. And then when they did same song was on that EP that they dropped, and they were in that movie Nothing But Trouble with Chevy Chase and Demi Moore. So I know that Pac, and then when Pac went off and did Tupacalypse Now, I don't think people knew how big he was gonna blow up. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think they really knew until like I want to say like Strictly for My Niggas. Like when I Get Around came out, everybody was playing that joint. That video was everywhere. The radio stations was bumping that. That's when I think he really began to blow up as a solo artist, and then he just took off from there with Me Against the World, and then got incarcerated and came back out with Death Row. But I know Pop from the digital underground days.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, I definitely know what you mean though, and it's
yeah.
kind of
Brenda's
crazy
Got a Baby. That was hot too. Definitely.
facts. And yeah, it's definitely crazy too because of the fact that I noticed like once that All Eyes that bullshit All Eyes on Me movie came out,
Mm,
this album was re-released the same year and stuff like that to come for his 25th anniversary. So shoot, maybe it has like a cult following. This food has a cult following and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
It's not a bad album. Like I think it's dope. I don't like you said, like I don't hear a lot of people mention that album. They always talk about the Death Row stuff.
and I like the Death Row stuff, but at the same time, when it comes to Pac, it's like an equal balance. It's like some days I'll listen to more Death Row Pac, and some days I listen to more the Last Squad Pac. But Tupac is still one of those artists like you can't hate on this. You can't hate on his discography and shit. There's always something in it for everybody.
I definitely. Number 17.
You said what?
Where we at right now? I lost count. Are we at
No, I think we're at 18.
18? Let me see.
Now we at 17 now.
All right, number 17. I got a Wu member solo joint. I think this man has the funniest intro to start an album off. I saw telling Reggie that a couple of days ago. One of the best album intros of any album to me, hands down. ODB, Return to the 36 Chambers. Love this album. And just the album cover is hilarious with the welfare card and shit. And he stole his baby mama's welfare card and made the album cover out of it. And you got Shimmy Shimmy Y'all, Fire Joint, Baby Come On, Brooklyn Zoo, which was the first single. I love that. The Stomp, one of my favorite. Just a great album, man. Cutting Heads. Just a dope album. The mixing is shit though, because that mixing is terrible. Like if you got the OG copy, you know what I'm talking about. The mixing is terrible. The treble is terrible. Everything, the mastering is terrible, but it's still a funky album. It's still dope. I still love it. I think it's a classic Wu solo album, one of the best. And he's definitely gonna be missed. And I saw ODB live in '96. He was hilarious, but he did his thing for fans, and definitely a classic album. Rest in peace, ODB.
Yeah, I just watched the Amazon documentary of the album like last week and shit like that.
Yeah,
and they were talking
about also.
Yeah, they were talking about the song "Going Down" when this motherfucker was singing the fucking Patti LaBelle song.
Oh Lord! And he actually thought he could sing too. That was the crazy thing about it. He was all off beat and shit. I'm like, oh man, that's just how ODB was, yo. Like he was the type of guy, like he always loved to make you laugh and he was like positive energy. And, he still kill you on the mic. Like he was just that talented.
I agree, definitely. Speaking of Wu-Tang, I actually have like my top 5 Wu albums, solo albums, because there's just so many I would put on the list. But I was trying to save it for like a lot of people and shit like that too. So
Right.
I got my shit for Wu-Tang. Don't get me wrong. I got my shit for Wu-Tang, y'all.
Right.
All right.
Now I thought about putting because I have some other Wu albums as well on here, but I thought about putting Liquid Swords, but technically that's not a debut album from GZA.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was like, I can't put that on the list because he got worse. So.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I didn't put Liquid Swords on my list either and shit like that. But
Right.
there'll be some things like, but he went by the Genius and stuff. But it's still the same nigga, motherfucker.
Yeah, it's just that Liquid Swords wasn't his debut solo album. You know what I'm saying? Like that was his debut with Wu-Tang, but you got Words from the Genius.
Facts. We had 17.
Yes.
So this next album, this is again another surprise to some people, but this motherfucker right here is definitely one. In my opinion, this guy made the most the best produced boom bap album in hip hop history. Diamond D, Stunts, Blunts, and Hip Hop.
Ooh.
Yes.
That's a good one.
Yes, I'm going there. Going there, y'all. First of all, the best title, in my opinion, the best title on any album, period.
I agree.
The best motherfucking title. Like, that title is synonymous in hip hop. Because it takes after that whole sex, drugs, and rock and roll. and shit like that.
Right.
This album is like 23 fucking tracks, and not a bad track off this album. It definitely broke the DITC crew out, if you ask me. Sally got a one track mind. I
Of
went
that.
for mine. That fucking
Oh,
beat. Ooh. Um, Freestyle, yo, that's that shit. A day in the
uh-huh.
life with fucking Sadat X and Lord Jamar, man.
Fire.
Fucking keep it simple, stupid. Oh, I can just go on and
And
on.
what's the name of that? What's the name of that joint that he's he used the beat for that the New York shit, the one that bust the sample for the Big Bang
I went for mine.
on my New York shit, huh?
It's called I Went for Mine.
Yeah, that joint is fire.
For real. Then
Love
we
that. I'm
added a
like, that's the
flute.
busted one. Yeah.
Oh shit. But
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
And I think the reason why I say this album is like the best album when it comes to boom bap era is like I just felt like the beats were definitely so raw. It was so New York and shit at that
Right.
time. Oh man, it's just such a dope album and stuff like that. And it definitely had
Definitely.
everybody, producers, engineers, rappers, everybody was just on their point with this fucking track right here. Even like the
Hmm.
New Jack Swing joint, like the Confused joint, I love that shit. So
Right.
yeah, man, definitely a very dope album, classic album.
Definitely. Definitely. That album needs more recognition too.
It definitely yes, it needs more, way more recognition.
I feel like I Diamond D is nice on the mic as well. I think people just rap for his beats, but he's dope on the mic.
Yeah, man, because I know a lot of people like are like Lord Finesse fans, which I am a Lord Finesse fan too. But to me, I would listen to Stunts Blunt and Hatred Passions over Return of the Funky Man and the Funky Technician album, if you ask me. But I love all those albums in each way.
Right.
I just felt like Diamond's beats was just more crisper, a lot more funky and soulful and shit. You know?
We at number 16. Shout out to you, Room 8. That's the homie on Instagram. Dope artist. Um, 16, and I mentioned about this artist in the last couple of years. For some reason, people feel like, and I'm calling my people out. Black people feel like they can't listen to this artist because they can't relate to the things that he said. But nobody was saying this when the dude was going 8 million times platinum. And I don't understand why in '99 we were embracing him into the culture that we started, and then now in 2020 I can't listen to him because like he don't have nothing that I can relate to. And I'm talking about Eminem, Slim Shady Show, Love. I don't know why all of us, like I've had this conversation in the past couple of days. People say, "Oh, can't relate to Eminem," because I'm like, "Yo, Eminem grew up poor, whether he was in the projects or in a trailer. He has baby mama issues that he's been dealing with forever. A lot of black people could deal with both of those relate to those issues. 2020 is I can't remember. But in 1999, when this album came out, there were people on my block that was bumping this album, bumping just the two of us, bumping my name is bumping Guilty Conscience. You know what I'm saying? I think this is a classic album, even though it's not his technically it's not his major, it's not his debut, it's his major label debut. Infinite was his debut album, but I love this album. It's a classic. Definitely Eminem is one of my favorite artists of all time. Like he is shaky. After the Eminem show, Encore was trash. Me and Reg talked about that. That was terrible. Comic Rival, terrible albums. I like Recovery. I thought it was dope. I thought that was like his most introspective album. It was just as dope. But he has a shaky discography. Stop putting him on the putting him on top 10 of all time. I think he did his thing, and to be a white rapper in our genre, in our form, be an artist of the decade. I don't. Jay-Z didn't even do that shit. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like Eminem gets a lot of hate because of the records he sold or whatever. But I mean, will we be having this discussion if Vinny Paz went 8 million or if Necro went 8 million? Probably not. You know what I mean? So I definitely think this is a classic album, production by Dre, of course, and Eminem, and definitely a classic album.
True. Yeah, that's an album I wouldn't even put on my list because I always feel like Infinite was his true debut album. If you ask me.
Right, right. But this is his major label debut.
True.
Is
True.
you know what I'm saying? It's major label debut. Like I could have did the same thing with Jizzle, but this is his major label debut. This is the difference.
Okay. True. Yeah, but I definitely love the Slim Shady LP, man. I was just bumping that shit not too long
I
ago.
love it. I love it. I love it. I always bump that album. I don't see no problem with it. This whole thing that you can't relate. I don't get.
It's that Lord Jamar shit.
Yeah,
Everyone.
but I
Is
mean,
that
it's
Lord?
like okay. So Lord Jamar never said any. First of all, I disagree with what Lord Jamar said anyway, because that whole thing of even if we did create hip hop in its hours, the sound alone, music is a universal thing. We don't know sound. Own sound. You don't own sound. Sound has been here before we were born. You know what I'm saying? And for him, I don't know what he's saying by well, these white artists have their feet in our on the of hip hop in our, but we don't. Who to say that? Oh, can't do this, G Easy, or you can't be a part of rap. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get that. Like I never hear that when it comes to slang. When it comes to, like I said, Vinnie Paz or R.A., they don't have those restrictions on them. So why Eminem?
That's a good question.
You know what I'm saying? Like why is it different for Eminem? Because he was artist of the decade and he was beating out Beyonce and he was beating out Alicia Keys and beating out and Christina Aguilera. Is it different for him then? But if he was still on, you would never hear about that. And that mentality has to that whole you know you white you can't be because they do the same thing to us. Like if I listen to Harry diverse as fuck, why does it have to be diverse because Harry Styles is white? The same way I listen to Harry Styles album or Katy Perry album, I listen to Eminem or I listen to a Griselda album. That mentality has to change, black people. Music is music. I don't. There shouldn't be no colors when it comes to music or anything. Like that whole thing. Like you know how they a black man date a white woman.
Yeah.
That was thrown out, especially in this day and age. We already had a black president. You know, it's like, and I grew up listening to white artists. My mother was playing white artists in the household. Phil Collins, he's white. You know what I'm saying? Hall and Oates, they're white. Madonna, you know what I mean? So it's like I grew up with this and it's normal for me. This is not like I'm trying to be. My taste is just different from everybody else's. I don't restrict myself from to listen to Mob Deep and 50. You know what I'm saying? Or you know what I mean? Like I can't listen to Linkin Park or 30 Seconds to Mars because I'm black and how would that look? I don't care how it looks to people. I'm gonna be me regardless.
That's true.
I said just be yourself. Don't worry about what people think on social media or what your family and friends are gonna think. You know what I mean? So this is natural for me, and that mentality has to change. You know,
I agree.
I ain't trying to preach. I'm just saying like from what I've witnessed, that's the bullshit that I've heard like in the past 6 months. I had a white guy on Instagram telling me all you listen to is Biggie Smalls, right?
Hmm.
And I've had my own people telling me like, oh, you're not good enough. You don't listen to enough, Griselda. You don't discuss Griselda. You don't discuss the fucking Harry Styles and so what? I listen to everybody from different genres. That's the way it should be. I don't put myself in a box and be you're this and you're that because that's what the white man wants you to do. They want to box you in and put you in that category so they can understand you. Oh,
Exactly.
Mom Deep, yo, you a hood nigga. Bro, I didn't grow up in the projects. I'm not a hood nigga. You know what I mean? I grew up in a middle class home. So I'm gonna be myself regardless. Regardless of what anybody think or what that's just how I am. You
Yeah, I
know?
definitely see your point
So
on that.
yeah, so this whole thing about I can't relate to Eminem because he's white. And Eminem what didn't grow up rich. He grew up in he talked about he grew up in 8 Mile. 8 Mile is a poor area. That ain't no rich area. It's not Beverly Hills. You know what I'm saying? He grew up poor. He knew black people. He grew up poor in the hood with black people. And he has baby mama drama. Like a lot of black people I know can relate to that. So why is it different for him? Because he sold 8 million, but y'all don't give Necro that grief, you know?
That is true.
So that's just my point of view on shit. I just feel like that's not needed in hip hop, man. So Eminem will always be in my top 10 because I just think he's a dope ass artist.
Yeah, man. I definitely agree with you on that because I get the same reaction mostly when I listen to rock music, and they be
Right.
like, "Oh, why you listen?"
Exactly. And Reg, you're young as hell, but you know a lot of shit that a lot of these kids don't listen to. It's like you got like an old soul about yourself that a lot of these kids your age, they don't know who the fuck the Barge is. How many
Fact.
times we discussed the Barge on your channel? They don't know who Elder Barge is.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? They might hear this like Little Yachty sample a DeBarge song. They might be like, oh, that's Little Yachty. No, that's Elder Barge, nigga.
Oh
That's
God.
Buddy. That's you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like you got you if you. I don't feel like you should change yourself for nobody. You be who you are because that's who you are. That's why you are a special, unique individual. If you bump Kiss and you bump Aerosmith or whatever, bump that shit proudly. Don't change for nobody. You know what I'm saying? I love Linkin Park, Sam. I've listened to Linkin Park from the hybrid album all the way to now. Every album, I got some of their albums. They do always one of my favorite Linkin Park albums. I've posted it on my page. If anybody's on my IG, you seen what I post. That's all me. You know what I'm saying? So I love who I am and what I play. So I'm not here to, fab in front for nobody. You be proud of what you bump, Reg. Don't ever let nobody. Who cares what people got to say? Oh, into this. So what? So what? I'm not gonna lose sleep over what people think and what people say. You know,
Yeah.
you got to be who you got to be at the end of the day. That's just what it is. I've told this story many times. New Kids on the Block. I've listened to New Kids on the Block. I've bought their albums. You know what I'm saying? And I used to get teased for listening to New Kids on the Block in school. That never bothered me from buying their shit. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I grew up listening to Madonna. Madonna is one of my favorite artists. I grew up listening to Madonna. I have many Madonna albums. That never bothered me because black people don't care for Madonna the same way they would care for like Beyonce or Rihanna. I don't like Rihanna. I don't think she okay, but she not like a great to me. That's just me. If anybody love Rihanna, bump Rihanna proudly. I just don't fuck with. That's all I'm saying. Everybody is different. So that's where I'm at with the whole Eminem thing. This whole how you listen to I had people tell me, oh, how you Eminem niggas in the hood don't bump Eminem. That's you. Niggas on my block was bumping Eminem. And even if they wasn't, that's all that matters. Or what my neighbors bump. I'm not my neighbors. My neighbors next door bump fucking trap music. And every day I hear this shit. So everybody got different tastes, man.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You know what I mean? Where we at? I'm giving like a long ass speech. I'm getting off topic here. We at like number 15? Number 15, I think.
Well, I didn't get my 16 yet.
Yeah, my bad.
You good? All right. My number 16 is Redman with "What the Album."
I love that album. That's on my countdown actually. I got that album right over here.
Shit. Yo, I'm gonna say some shit that might be crazy, but I feel like this album alone did as much influence in bringing P Funk to hip hop as much as the Chronic, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, definitely. I love that Redman. I think Redman, like he brought a different energy to rap. Like the just toughness and the showmanship on stage. He brought
Mm-hmm.
a different energy to like Eric Sherman's production when he was splitting from EPMD and just a dope all around artist, man.
Right, man. I smoke mad Philly blunts and eat pussy for lunch. He was just so himself, man. That's what I loved about Red, man.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think I bought the Redman album with me, but that would have been on my list though.
shit. You said which one?
The with the album, I didn't bring it with me, but that would have been on my list because I always love that album. Great debut album, solid.
I definitely agree with you. Like, favorite songs: "A Day of Superman Lover,"
Yes,
"Blow Your Mind," "So Rough," "Tonight's the Night." That might be one of my favorite Redman songs too. And when it
definitely.
comes to singles, I prefer that over "Time for Some Action" and "Blow Your Mind."
Oh yeah,
Yeah, man. How to
that
roll?
whole album is classic, though. Like, and he didn't, and the thing is, it was like they promoted him. Like, was it? There wasn't. He didn't have no commercial joints on that album.
Nope.
But you hear that like "Blow Your Mind" first single. After that, "Time for Some Action." Tonight's the night. Like he just that's a masterpiece, man.
Exactly. Like one of the best debuts in hip hop history.
Definitely. I love that album. That's still one of my favorite. And I know I've dogged the second album to death, but I will pick the first album and Muddy Waters and Doc's the Name over the second album any day. Love Redman. A great. I've chance to see live. I've seen I Man live. I never see, but I'll see Redman live one day. All right. We at number 15. Number five. I got this artist again. What his only well, I don't want to say his only well, yeah, his only classic album, but I think maybe one or two other albums were okay. His best album, and I got to see the Fugees at '86 before they broke up. Great live performance they put on with the Roots as the live band. Um, yeah, we talked about this Wyclef, the Carnival. Love this album. I
Love
believe to me it's a classic. Um, he's not a great producer, but he definitely produced the shit out of this album.
it.
Gone to November, love that the regular version and the remix with Cannabis and R. Kelly and Destiny's Child was on that as well. And Bubble Goose, a dope joint. To my ladies, I love that song. Anything can happen. That was the first single that came out, and just we can't forget what's the drink? Um, we're trying to stay alive. We sampled the Bee Gees, that Bee Gees joint, and John Forte's on here. You got the late great Celia Cruz. You got Lauren. Lauren is on Guantanamera. That was another single on here. Great joint. Classic album. Like I said, this is his best album. His other albums, the second one, it had some okay songs. I didn't like it overall as a sophomore album. Um, the what's the album? I think I don't want to say his third album. I got that one, I think, but that one was okay. Masquerade, I don't even remember, and all the other joints like Carnival 2 and Carnival 3, those are bad. But this is his classic album, and I think me and Red, we talked about actually doing discussing this at some point. So
That's gonna be
yeah,
interesting.
definitely, that definitely needs to happen. Yeah, at least one time for Wyclef, because I think he could have been an even doper solo artist. but like he's big because of like the joints he did for like for what's her name? The Latin.
So which one?
You know what I'm talking about, right?
So what?
Hips don't watch it.
Oh, Shakira.
Shakira, and the stuff he did for Santana on his 2000 album Supernatural
Ugh.
aspect, because he's done like a lot for other artists, and but for his own stuff, I think this is like his like he could have been bigger as a bigger solo artist within hip hop. Besides this album, but I definitely love this album. It to me it wasn't a classic when I first heard it. It was a solid album, but over the years, to me, it became a classic because of his shitty discography. I definitely love this album. Is an underrated classic. And at some point, me and Reggie will discuss it. But that's my number 15.
Yeah, man. Definitely. I really wanted to put that on my list, but I have like a lot of shit to say about that album, and I'm gonna save it for the review pretty much.
Eric said I don't really like Beyonce. I like Beyonce's first album. I think her first album was classic. I don't really care the albums. Of Fire is underestimated, he said.
Mm, shit.
Yeah, Cameron. Well, see, Cameron. If I had to put any Cameron album, it would have been Purple Haze. That's my favorite Cameron album, and or Come Home with Me. Those two. But that's not like his debut. Like his debut is Confessions, but I mean, I don't know. Do you consider Confessions a fire or the classic album?
I mean, yeah, I would consider a classic album minus the album cover.
Oh,
I mean,
the overall.
it's not like a 5 mic classic, but I would say it's like a 4.5 classic.
Right. I feel you.
I'm more of a come go.
Yeah, I prefer Come Home with Me and Purple Haze. Those are like my favorite Cameron
Yeah, come home
albums.
with me. That's my shit.
Right.
Yeah, man. I guess it's my turn.
Yes.
Yeah, you.
Number 15. Right.
Oh wait, hold up. Yeah, I didn't say my pick for 15.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got Real to Real, Grand Puba.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Um, you already said what you had to say about this album, but I'm just going to
Right.
reiterate. This is a very dope album. I love this album. Like, it definitely has a very slick mixture of R&B and reggae with the dancehall, with the hip hop, with the house and shit like that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's just a fucking perfect album, man. Like the perfect singles. He did the majority of the beats. Um,
Right.
he was even singing like "Baby, What's Your Name," like, which I actually
Yep.
like that song.
That's a
Um,
dope song.
Lick Shot with the fucking Good Time sample.
That was dope.
Big Kids Don't Play. Check
Love
it out.
that.
Check it out with Mary J. Blige. Ooh,
Fire.
oh my. Back it up. Soul Controller.
Fire.
You like not a fucking bad track on this album.
Mm.
Definitely a very dope, very, very, very dope album. In my opinion, 2000 was trash. Well, it wasn't. It wasn't trash. It was kind of. It wasn't too good compared to this album.
It was just you know.
Right. Even though
Mm-hmm.
I like it song, but I'm kind of tired of that song low key.
Yeah.
But yeah.
A lot. They played it a lot. Yeah, we have 14. Yeah, it's at 14 for me. I'm getting confused. I started first and then Reg. So it's 14 for me and then Reg go.
Okay.
All right. 14 for me, another Brooklyn female MC, Foxy Brown and Nana, classic album. The joints, Get You Home with Blackstreet, that was the first single, and Al B with Jay-Z. She had The Promise, produced by Havoc. That's my favorite track on here. Foxy's Bells, she did a rendition of LL's Rock the Bells, famous track. She got Method Man on Il Nana, the title track, and Kick the Pre. Just a classic album, one of my favorite six. Definitely had to include this on the list.
Yeah, that's on my list too. But I'm gonna see what I have to say about that one.
Okay.
Yeah, my pick for 14 is Snoop Doggy Dogg with Doggy Style. Yeah, man.
Yes.
It was either this one or the Chronic, but I was like, I'm gonna go with Doggy Style on this one.
Okay.
Very, very, very dope album. It's a fucking classic. Snoop Dogg just at his prime and shit like that. I mean, you have
Right.
songs like "Ain't No Fun" if the homies can't have none.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Love that.
I got the version with I got the OG copy, so I got the one with G's up, hoes down.
Same.
With
Same.
classic
Mm-hmm.
song right there.
Definitely.
For all my niggas and bitches, fucking
Fire.
murder was the case, and my personal favorite track, the Shiznit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
One of my favorites.
this is a very dope album. I know a lot of people say that this was Snoop's only good album with Death Row. I mean, only good album is Discography, which I tend to disagree. You know, we should have a Snoop
Right.
Discography breakdown one day.
Definitely. That must happen. That
Yeah,
must happen.
that should
But
happen.
like even for me, like there's solid albums that he's done, especially the stuff with on No Limit. I think that was like his best work after Death Row. But then he got this albums after that. Some of them were hit and miss too.
Yeah, after the maybe I want to say after the last meal or on a good day, blue carpet, it gets hit or miss for me too.
Right.
Shit,
Blue
because
Copper was solid. That was a solid album.
oh yeah, man, that was a very dope album.
But Ego, that shit was bad. And Ego Tripping is one of those bad. I ran to the FYE to buy that same day it came out, and I was highly disappointed. But I didn't throw it out though. It's still with me. I didn't throw it out.
Yeah, Ego Trip, man, he was just doing a lot of different stuff on that album. Like he was doing some country with Willie Nelson, then
Oh Lord.
he was doing this sexual eruption song. Uh,
Oh man.
oh Jesus, it was all over the place.
That's a bad album, man. And to think Teddy Riley produced shit on that album for him, yo. Like, what are you doing, Teddy?
R- really?
Yeah, Teddy produced some shit on. Like, he must have
Oh
did it
yeah,
for the paycheck. I'm like, yeah,
oh yeah, because
that bad was
Teddy in
bad.
the two
Now
thousands
see,
was
back in the day, Tribal would have threw that album away. 2020 Tribal, I keep those albums now. So
yeah,
yeah,
man.
20 years ago, I would have threw that shit away. Like I ain't crazy. Number 13, another female MC. This one out of the other female MCs albums I showed, this one is the most underrated. I've always loved this artist, but she did come out with another album after this, but this is the album that everybody know her for. Talking about Bahamadia, Collage,
Ooh,
1996,
good
My
lord.
Records, majority production done by Primo and the Beatminers and Questlove and the Roots. You know, she came out with Total Wreck. That was the first single. And True Honey Buns song. You know, you know how we do. That was actually the first single. You know how we do. Done by Kid Capri, not Kid Capri, Ski. You know Ski from Reasonable Doubt and all that. Original Flavor. And Three the Hard Way. That was another single. You know, I love the album definitely, and she held it down by herself. You know, like there's no well, you can hear Guru in the background, but he's not like on no actual songs. And you know, she did her thing. I definitely think this is a classic album. So yeah, big up to Brahma D.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's definitely a very dope album. Shit too. I always love the album cover. Always
Oh,
love it.
with the orange background and everything,
Yes.
and the afro and shit. Yeah, that's dope.
Shit. All right. I'm just gonna get it out the way. Nas Illmatic,
Of course.
of course. I mean, I can't have a list without Illmatic. Very, very dope album. It has been called by many people to be like the greatest hip hop album of all time. The one that has the all star production lineup with Primo, Les, P Buck,
Right.
Large Professor, and Q Tip. Yeah, very dope album. Love this album to death. Even though sometimes I get a little tired of it because of the fanboys, and even because of Nas himself. But I never disliked the album. Like it's a timeless
Right.
masterpiece. One love, life's a bitch, the world is yours. Even though
Right.
I prefer the Q-Tip remix of that,
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, man, it's kind of crazy too because the first copy I got was the 2004 remastered edition,
Right.
and the remixes pretty much sucked in my opinion. They didn't have certain remixes they didn't really have and shit. And I know they had a certain Word Is Yours remix, and the remix sounded like it was made like in '01, '02, like the beats and shit.
Right.
So I'm just grateful I got like the vinyl version now, like the OG copy
Mm-hmm.
now and shit like that. But
Right.
yeah, man, this is a very dope album. Um, I read somewhere that it was supposed to be longer than 10 minutes, but the album kind of got a little bootlegged a little bit, and it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
supposed to come out in '94. It was supposed to come out earlier than '94 and shit. So
Right. Right.
I think it was Complex. I read that at.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, he gave us 10 classic joints on that album, though.
Yes, jewels, man, like jewels.
Eric said Cain and Abel and My Brother's Keepers is number 14.
I never got it. I never
And
listened to King and Neighbor. I gotta check them out.
yeah, I remember them, the two twin brothers.
Oh wow, they're twins. Ooh.
Yeah, I believe they twins. I believe they twins. I remember them. They I think one had braids, the other one had like a fade cut or something. Rumen said every time I hear about Foxy, I hear he had Kim and his crew. I found Fox. Yeah, I mean, I think maybe that's part of why they used to beef. This whole the whole the battle between Kim and Foxy. I never knew that though. That's interesting.
Interesting too.
Yeah, he made us. Yeah, he did country music. Eric. He got a drink with Willie Nelson on the Ego Tripping album. I know he said he was doing a country album too. I don't know if he's still doing that.
Hmm.
I'm not listening to that. I'm sorry, Steve. I love you, but I'm not listening to that. I can't do that. Number 12 for me is the first Wu. No, the second Wu entry in here. I got Ghostface Iron Man 96. Love this album. All RZA production. This album already Winter Wars, Wildflower, Fish, Cam A, Daytona 500. Definitely a classic album. Well, what more can you say about it? Is Wu, man. It's Ghostface. This is the man that put Wu on his back during the 2000s and kept them relevant and definitely has a solid discography. I definitely want to do a Ghostface discography discussion one day. But
Ooh.
yeah, this is a classic debut album, Ghostface.
Okay. I can't talk about 194 debut when I can't talk about the other. Ready to Die, Notorious B.I.G.
Yes.
Yeah, man, this is a very dope album, man. Very, 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 very good album when it comes to like fucking East Coast hip hop. This is like one of the albums a lot of people think about first.
Right.
Um, songs I love: Everyday Struggle, Suicidal Thoughts, Machine Gun Funk,
Fire.
The What with Method Man, Me and My Bitch. Like
Wow.
shit's fire as fuck, man. Like definitely one of my favorite albums. I wish I had the OG copy and stuff like that because even though I like the remastered edition, but to keep it a buck, the remastered edition they took out some samples from Machine Gun
Ready to
Funk
die.
and Ready to Die
Yeah.
and shit like. And those
That,
are two
that's
of my
that's because Puffy got sued by the higher players for that sample.
exactly.
And they won the case. So yeah, I think he had to pay them like 3 million.
Yeah, and then he removed the sample and shit too.
Right. Right. Crazy.
And like the OG copy, I've seen it go for like about $200-300 at time. I'm like, yeah,
What?
yeah,
Wow.
because I always wanted this album on vinyl too.
Right.
But yeah, I'll get it one day. One day I'll get it. Trust me, I'll get it.
That is crazy. Um, where we at? Number 11.
Yeah.
Number 11. Definitely one of the best, I would say, top three albums of 1998. Big Pun, Capital Punishment, classic album. I love this album. Rest in peace, Big Pun. This album was heavily the hype and the buzz for this album was all worth it. He did not disappoint. Caribbean connection with Wyclef and super lyrical with Black Thought from the Roots. Tres Leche with the late great Prodigy and Inspector Deck. Twins with Fat Joe. That's a great album, man. Like anybody that has not listened to this album, you're sleeping under a rock. This album is one of the best of 1998. If not the best, one of the best, definitely. Definitely in my top two or three of 1998. Love this album. I wish Pun was still here. I wish he was still making classics like this. But definitely, this album lived up to the hype. Definitely a classic album.
Hmm. Yeah, that's definitely an album that I wish I would have put on my list. Like I said, there's so many to count.
That album could have easily been number one for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I know we get into like the top 10, but that album could have been easily one. It's not in no order, but I'm just saying like that album especially could have been number one for me because I think it's that great. It could go against Cuban Link or Illmatic, any of them. So,
Okay. All right. Now, can continue on 94. This is an album that does not get its shine, in my opinion.
mhm.
OC Word Life,
Love that album.
for real, man.
Classic.
Yeah, this album is dark as fuck, my nigga. It's grimy as fuck, but at the same time, it's lyrical as fuck. It has a good balance. Like OC, he always had a balance between saying some grimy shit, and he's on some lyrical ass shit. You know what I'm saying? Battle shit.
Right.
Um, this was around the time when he was still affiliated with the Organized Confusion.
Mhm.
This album has tracks like "Time's Up," which everyone knows that track right at that time. Like everyone knows
Mhm.
that shit. "Born to Live,"
Right.
"Let It Slide," "Story," "Constables," "Point of Views." I mean, this is a very dope album and shit. Yeah, man, definitely a highly, highly classic. A lot of people kind of compare this album to Illmatic. I don't really see the
Mhm.
similarities. I
Really?
don't really see it.
I never heard that before.
Yeah, there's some people who compare this album to Illmatic sometimes and shit.
Wow.
And it's crazy too because Nas, he was originally supposed to have been on this album too, but
Really?
I don't know the song. But
Mhm.
I've read so he was supposed to be on this album, but he couldn't make it to the studio one time.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
imagine Nas and OC. That's crazier, my
I
friend.
think if you put Nas on like a joint like Ma Dukes, that would have been a perfect joint for him.
Woo!
He would have killed it for sure. That's always been like one of my favorites on that album. You know? Wow, wow. Did not know that. Number 10. Number 10 for me, coming out of the West. I think this is a modern day classic. Another album that was heavily hyped. And I think this guy lived up to the hype. I think his discography is solid. Talking about the game, documentary, the
Okay.
documentary. Classic West Coast album. The joint Dreams. That was one of my favorites. Hated to Love It. How We Do. I believe that was the first single. Running. That the high tech joint. That was fire. Just we discussed this a long time ago. Definitely a classic album. I think Game definitely has a solid discography, and after leaving G Unit, he did it on his own, and big up to him. Documentary classic.
Yeah, man. That was the album that pretty much brought the West back, in my opinion.
What album got a different cover, Eric? You talk about the Capital Punishment joint? Then you talking about the Capital Punishment joint?
Yeah, yeah. I got the one with a different cover.
Oh,
Where
with
he's
the girl and all that.
yeah.
Well, in the booklet, that picture is in the booklet with the him grabbing on the girl's tits and all that. That's in the booklet.
Yeah, but I think either that was supposed to have been the original cover or it was like a
Mm.
limited edition or some shit like that.
Right, right.
But yeah, man, like that when I saw that issue, I was like, yes, I've been looking for that fucking cover for a while and shit like that. But I know that cover is for a stupid amount of money these days and shit. All right, this next album it might come to a surprise to some people.
Mm,
This is a West Coast album that came out.
okay,
This artist he doesn't really get a lot of shine and stuff like that, but it's J.O. Felony with Take a Ride.
okay.
Yeah, man. An album I recently listened to about a year or two ago. Definitely a
Right,
banging album. Sherm Stick, definitely a very dope track. It uses the Teddy Pendergrass sample.
right.
Um, the Locust on its own. I love that shit. Niggas and bitches. Don't call me a nigga. Bitch, I'm through. Like ignorant ass shit, but you gotta love it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Oh man. This album right here is definitely he was signed under Jam Master Jay's JMJ label
right.
and shit like that too. Yeah man, very, very, very dope album. It's an West Coast album I don't hear a lot of people talk about.
Mm.
Yeah, definitely give it a peep and shit, you know what I'm saying?
Is that the one from Def Jam?
No, the one from Def Jam is What You Gonna Do.
Oh, okay.
Which I thought this was on Def Jam, it was on JMJ, which
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Um, yeah, number nine for me. Oh man, this man dropped two classics in 1998.
Oh
The
yeah.
first one definitely have to be on this list. DMX is dark and his hell is hot. Fire, Ruff Ryders anthem, classic, classic song. My mother loves that song. Classic song. How's it going down? Niggas done started something. Get at me, dog. The first single. Stop being greedy. I love that song. One of his best ever. Classic album. Swiss Beats and Dame Grease and all them cat Pete Killer, all them cats, man. Definitely lace this album. Classic. Have to mention this one.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely
Yeah,
dope.
number nine.
Yep. All right. Yeah, Try already mentioned this album. Is Foxy Brown with Il Na Na. Yeah, definitely a very, very, very dope album. Um, yeah, Foxy did definitely one of her lyrical. She definitely has some lyrical tracks with some
Mm-hmm.
commercial tracks like "The Promise" with Havoc, "Get Me Home" with Blackstreet, Fox Boogie with Kid Capri. Yeah, definitely very, very, very dope album. Um, Yo, Track Masters, man, they were all over this fucking
Oh yeah.
album.
Oh yeah.
It's a shame that Jermaine Dupri don't want to battle Track Masters. That would have been
He's scared, yo. We don't want that smoke with
the
them.
one that smoke.
Yo, I don't, well, we getting that RZA and Primo on Saturday. That's definitely gonna be dope.
Oh, what time is it on Saturday?
9 p.m.
9 p.m. Okay, bet.
That's gonna be must see TV right there. I hope they don't back out of that shit, yo. Like give the fan, you know. But yeah, yeah. That Track Masters. I don't know, I think JD. That would have been a great battle, but you know, cancel it. I don't know what's going on.
Because JD, like I say, like Jermaine Dupri, when it comes to like a lot of hip hop beats, it's hit or miss sometimes and shit like that. Because when it comes to R&B, he mostly works well the R&B beats and shit. Hip hop beats is like like Life
All
in
right, no
1472.
crazy.
That was like
Number, huh?
I'm just saying if it's like Life in 1472, that's like some of his best work if you ask me.
Yeah, definitely. That and not even for him rapping, just like the production and with
Exactly.
DMX and now, the Bone Thugs and shit.
Facts.
And number right?
Hold on. Yo,
Yeah,
we
I
at
think we're
8.
at number 8.
Yeah.
All right, number 8 for me. I don't know. I know some people call this a R&B album, or some is a hip hop, or it's both. I'm going with Lauryn Hill, Miseducation. Love this album. Yeah, I think it's a mixture of both. You know, she did a little bit singing on some songs, like That Thing, but she also was rapping on Final Hour and Lost Ones, and oh, Everything is Everything, and I love it. I think it's a classic album. You know, great production, and Lauren definitely is one of the best. I wish we got another Lauren Hill album, but that's neither here or there. I definitely think it belongs on this list. Great debut from her, and yeah, definitely have to put this on here.
Yeah, man. I don't have nothing bad to say about that album and shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's flawless, man. Flawless album. Give me 1 second. My next album is Jay-Z with Reasonable Doubt. Um,
Fire.
Classic album. I'm not afraid to say this is my favorite Jay album, in my opinion.
Mm, okay.
I mean, yeah, it's the one I. It's not to say that his discography is bad and shit like that, but
Right.
it's just that album alone is such a distinct album when it comes to Jay. Like
Right.
everything just came out right, and I also love the whole mafioso rap era. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
which I might do a
That's,
list of top. Go ahead.
no, what you saying?
I said I might do a list of top 5 Jay Z albums and shit like that. I might one day.
Oh, classic album. Definitely. I ain't got no complaints with that.
For real.
Definitely.
Um,
Um, yeah.
yeah, man. I
Killer, what up? First time I'm seeing you on here. What up?
who Killer
Killer
Tape?
Tapes.
Oh,
Yeah.
what's up? Yeah, man. My only
You
if
have
I
to go
was to
live more often. I don't be seeing none of you cats on here.
if
Word,
I
word. I'm
was,
gonna have to go live more often, Reg.
you said what?
I'm gonna have to go live more often because like when we do like the shows, we just record it, but I'm gonna have to go live because I see like people I ain't seeing.
Oh yeah, man. Like definitely, man. And they all showing that support. They all showing you that
Word,
support too. So that should
word.
say something.
Shout out to y'all, man. The real day ones.
Shit. But if I was to have a little small gripe about Reasonable Doubt, it's a little
Uh-oh.
small gripe.
What's the gripe, Reg?
I wish Dead Presidents 1 was on with Dead Presidents 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
That's just
yeah. I
my.
think a lot of people agree with that.
I love Presidents 2, but Dead Presidents 1, oh man, it's
But why did he? Yeah, that's I always want to know. Like, how come the video version is different from the other version?
well because that song pretty much came out in '95. I think like mid to late '95,
Right.
and with the album coming out in '96, I guess he wanted to do like a remix or a sequel and shit like
Right.
that. Which I don't really like when artists do some shit like that sometimes, but
Right.
shit.
Yeah,
But
that's
yeah, man. Um, what else? Regrets, The Evils, Ain't No
love
Nigga,
that.
Can't Knock the Hustle. Both
Fire.
that and the Fool's Paradise remix with Melissa Morgan and shit like that.
Mm, right.
Um, Cashmere Thoughts, like Jesus
Fire.
Christ, not a bad track on this album. 22 twos. He said that shit about the too much West Coast dick licking, like
Right.
using the word 222 times and shit. Yeah, man, definitely a very dope album, classic album. This is the only Jay Z album that's actually out of print too. So
Right. Roman 8 wants to know what's the history on Dead Prez 1 and 2.
I myself have to do a lot of history about that, but I know Dead Press 1 was pretty much like a promo single and
Right.
shit like that. And with Dead President 2, his flow was like a lot more fluid and shit like that. But like I said, I have to do like a video on both those separately one day. So stay tuned on
Right.
that.
Those tracks, I believe you can only get it on vinyl now, right?
When Dead Press 1 and 2,
Yeah.
I wanna say so, yeah.
Right, cause yeah, cause I've only seen it on vinyl. Like I haven't seen it like on the actual album.
Oh, when you talking about Dead Press, you can still get Dead Press 2 on the CD on the Read Without CD. Yeah, is that what you're talking about?
That's cool. Um, what we at? Number 7.
Yeah, number 7.
Okay, number 7 for yeah. Number 7 for me, Nipsey Hussle, rest in peace. 2018 Victory Laps. Definitely had to put this on the list. Modern day classic. I
Okay.
love this album, man. Loaded Bases with CeeLo. That's one of my favorites. And Rap Niggas. Dedication. Young Niggas. Definitely a classic album. Like Star Studded. Puffy's on here. Kendrick's on here. Like I said, CeeLo. YG. Like just definitely a classic album. Rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle. Just uh just had the 1 year anniversary for his passing, unfortunately. But definitely a modern day classic. Had to put this on the list. Yeah, that's my number 7.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the dope album too and shit like that. Rest
Yeah.
in peace to Nipsey Hussle.
Oh yeah.
Um, my next pick is a surprise pick. You know, this is from like a producer slash rapper.
Mhm.
Um, this came out 4 years after he was part of like his duo slash group, and it's Pete Rock with Soul Survivor.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh yeah,
Definitely.
definitely probably one of my favorite Pete Rock solo. Like Pete Rock definitely has a very dope discography solo wise. I'm
He
just
does.
now.
He does definitely. I got the NY Finest album. That was pretty solid too.
Yeah, I like that one.
Mhm.
The Return of the SP 1200 was dope too. Soul Survivor 2 was decent. It was alright.
It was alright. Yeah.
Yeah. But with this album right here, this came out 4 years after, Pete Rock and CL Smooth, and he was pretty much producing for cats and working with like Dada and I and all them cats and shit.
Yeah.
And he came out with his solo album in '98, and
Right.
it was just definitely a good mixture of East and West Coast MCs. Of course, you have Heavy D and the dance hall influence and shit.
Yeah.
Man, where do I begin with this album? One Life to Live with MC8 and Pete Rock. Oh, 8 killed
Mm,
that shit.
definitely.
The two with the long awaited reunion with Pete Rock and CL Smooth.
Did you
Strange.
like that song? I felt like that was just like he just added him on that album just to add him.
I actually do like that song, but
You like it?
yeah,
It doesn't sound like I don't know. It didn't sound like they were in sync on that song. Like like a regular a regular Pete Rock and CL joint when you hear it. It didn't sound like they were in a bag on that song.
I can see where you're coming from with that. I can definitely because it's been years since they've actually
Right.
worked
Maybe that's
together.
what it is. Yeah.
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 Um. Then we have Half Man, Half Amazing with Meth. My favorite track is Take Your Time, and it
Love
features
that.
Jane from Loose Ends.
Mhm.
Oh
Love
man,
that
that's my
song.
favorite track off this joint, man. And that was like a big surprise for me too, because I would never expect to hear Loose Ends and Pete Rock on the same album.
Right. Right. But that beat just fit them though. It's real melodic and smooth.
Exactly.
I love
Um,
that.
Strange Fruit. How can I not mention Strange Fruit?
Yes.
The Sticky Fingers' best verse is
Oh yeah,
on.
for
That's
sure.
Sticky Fingers' best motherfucking verse. Oh, shit.
Red
Like,
breaking this. What you
y'all
breaking over there, bro?
stay tuned for that review tonight, y'all. Stay tuned.
Oh yeah, definitely. Sticky fingers.
uh,
I didn't even finish my notes for that album, yo.
yo, me neither. Me neither. I gotta finish a couple
We're
more
gonna be
things
late
off.
as fuck right there.
You said what?
I said we're gonna be late.
We always on CP time, so fuck it. But yo, Soul Survivor is definitely a classic album. It's an
Yeah,
album I don't see a lot of Pete Rock fans even talk about because they're
I
always
agree.
on Pete Rock and CL Smooth and
Right.
the Pete Instrumentals one album, but they never talk about Soul Survivor, which I'm sorry,
Right.
this is a hip hop classic. I don't care what no one says.
True Master alone is classic.
Yeah.
Soul
Fucking with,
Brother number one. That beat is bananas. That's one of P Rock's best beats. Soul Brother number one.
nigga, don't even get me
Crazy,
started on Verbal Murder 2.
crazy,
Oh,
crazy.
yo, review. We gotta once I get the album soon. Yo, we gotta review
I
that.
need that. I need to definitely. I never bought that album. I had the single for Take Your Time, but I never bought Soul Survivor. I gotta get that.
Yo, deadass. They have the fucking album at the vinyl store, and
Yeah.
even though it didn't have the cover, I was legitimately gonna buy it for fuck's sake. But the damn this whole COVID-19 bullshit closed the vinyl store and shit.
Oh Lord.
Oh fuck coronavirus, man. I'm tired of bullshit, man. Like I said, crack kill more people alone, but y'all not closing the streets down for some motherfucking crack. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly. And every when they say when they tell people to stay home, everybody not actually staying home though.
For real.
There's still trains and buses running. I still hear helicopters. You know what I'm saying? Like not everybody is staying home. You know what I'm saying? Like this is not a complete quarantine.
Fuck out of here. They talk about, oh, we gotta stay inside. Like, bitch, what the fuck staying inside?
Yeah. Yeah, just wait till we get that first 90-degree day. They niggas ain't gonna be home, yo. They're gonna be somewhere.
Shit.
I'm waiting to watch. Come
Yo,
May,
I'm telling
June, we get that 90 degrees, niggas gonna be out.
Yo, I'm telling you, after all this shit's over, there's gonna be can you imagine all the riots that's gonna happen and shit?
It's
Oh,
gonna be crazy, man. That's when they're gonna really have to enforce that rule about staying in because when the summertime hit, niggas ain't trying to stay inside. They're gonna be out. They're gonna be on their front porch or whatever.
shit, niggas gonna be wilding like Kendrick Lamar's "To Pimp a Butterfly" album cover. That's how niggas gonna be wilding. Shit.
Stupid.
Shit.
Uh,
And I'll be the photographer taking all that shit.
oh Lord, Rez the portfolio king and the shit over here. Oh man. All right, number six for me. Reg already mentioned it. 1988, Brooklyn's finest, Big Daddy Kane, Long Live Kane. I love this album. I got them on cassette back for Christmas that year. Actually, that was like a Christmas gift, and that was one of my favorite albums growing up with. Had to get it on CD, and ain't no half stepping. That's what set everything off for Kane, and I love it. Raw set it off. Just rhyming with Biz. Legendary MC as well. Love this album. One of Marley Marl's best produced albums, in my opinion, along with Mama Said Knock You Out and the Cool G Rap shit. I love that. I love this album. Definitely a classic.
Yeah, man, I definitely agree with you on that. Like I mentioned, man, Kane was just at lyrical. He was like on a lyrical form
Yeah,
of that shit.
definitely.
All right. You already mentioned this one. It's DMX with "It's Dark and Hell is Hot."
Yes.
I mean, yeah, man, like classic album.
Mhm.
DMX definitely took niggas away from the whole shiny suit bullshit.
Definitely. Definitely. Him and Pun, like they were like a breath of fresh air at that time.
For
You
uh
know.
shit. And it's kind of crazy too because even DMX was also on Mace's album.
Right. Right. But see, but I think like I remember hearing even back then that when Mace joined Bad Boy, he was like the fourth member of the Locks, and then Puffy broke them up and made Mace solo, and then
Really?
turned him into like yeah, supposedly. I don't know how true that is because I even heard there's an interview with D who was on the Breakfast Club, and he was that Mace is best. Like he put Mace in that category with Jada and Styles ball for ball, and
Wow.
they like Mace was he ever worked with when he was or whatever. And when he was with Big L crew, he was like Murder Mace, Children of the Corn. And then when he went to Bad Boy, he was Pretty Boy Mace. So I think that was all like an image thing. But I've always thought Mace was dope, like with his freestyles and shit. So, but I don't know if I would put him on Jadakiss or Styles level. That's
Hell
some
no.
other shit. You know what I mean?
Hell no. I mean,
Yeah.
Murder Mace, maybe. Shit. But yeah, I think my favorite track off this album, damn, Crime
Mhm.
Story. Just
Yes,
that,
that
that
was good.
that beat alone, that ding 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 ding
Yeah,
ding,
that was dope.
like Damien. X is Coming is grimy as fuck.
That's fire.
Like the first nigga to pray on a hip hop album and shit.
Right? Of course. And he
Yeah.
did that at his shows. Like I saw DMX last summer. He did that at his shows. Like actually, like have everybody praying with their head down and everything, holding hands and shit.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he take that shit seriously. You know.
Yeah. Dope album and shit. That's
Oh
dope.
yeah, definitely. Classic album. Definitely, like I said, like Kim and Pun definitely was the saviors of hip hop at that time. Like when all that shiny suit shit was going on and bling bling with Cash Money, definitely needed Pun and DMX to set things right, so to speak.
Yeah, I agree.
Um, my number five. This is gonna be hard. I know this is not in no order, but I feel like I'm like rating these with the top five. Shit, damn. Biggie, don't kill me. Ready to Die, number five for me. Love this album, classic. I have so many great stories with this album, and going to the mall and buying it, and just a classic album, and seeing how far he came from party and bullshit to life after death, and just a great album, and he put Brooklyn on the map before Jay, and Unbelievable was still one of my favorites on here. One of the best primo beats in my opinion. Big Papa, Juicy, Suicidal Thoughts. Just a classic album, man, and definitely still missing Big after all these years.
Yeah, we always love Big Papa.
Yeah.
Alright. Now we're gonna go into some ruckus records at the moment with this debut album. Most Def, Black on Both Sides.
Definitely need that joint.
Yes. Well, you don't have the album?
Nah, I don't have that one and Pharoah Monch joint. I don't got those two. I got Black Star, but I ain't got the Most Def joint.
Ooh. Yo,
Definitely.
I got you. I think I know somewhere that sells on a good low.
Oh, dope. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate
But yeah, this is, in my opinion, when it comes to Most Def, he is definitely an MC that I always pay attention to bar for bar for bar when it comes to
Right.
his music. And I remember when I heard this joint when I was like getting into um hip hop and shit, and I heard this joint right here,
Right.
and I was just mesmerized by just the lyricism that was coming out of this motherfucker and shit like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It was just like it was just like some shit like all it was every time you listen to it, it was like a spiritual journey.
Right.
Like my favorite songs off this is Umi Says,
I love
um,
that.
Mr. Nigga,
Mm-hmm.
Do It Now, um, fucking Climb, Rock and Roll. I mean,
Rock and
yeah,
roll.
yeah, this is one of those tracks that does not have no bad songs on this. Hell, Mathematics alone is a
Oh
fucking
yeah.
classic.
That Primo
Ding,
joint. Fire.
like ding. One of Primo's
Fire.
top 20 beats, man.
Definitely.
So yeah, very very dope album. By the way, I got a question for you, Try.
Yeah.
What do you think about the new Danger album?
That's the only Most Def album I have not heard. I heard was it the Eclectic?
Yeah,
Ecstatic? That's the name
the
of it.
Ecstatic. Yeah.
That joint was good. I think that one was underrated.
Yes.
And he had one called Magic, right? Or something like that.
He had a what?
Yeah, wasn't he had another album called Magic or something
Yeah.
like that?
True
Yeah,
Magic.
Magic. Yeah, that one and New Danger I haven't heard yet. And I know those are out of print.
Yeah. All I want to say, the new Danger, that's very underrated. A lot of people shit on that album because they expected the Black on Both
Right.
Sides too.
Right. I remember when that came out.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that one I definitely got to hear because I've heard like a lot of people like it, but it wasn't promoted right or whatever.
Nope.
Got to hear that joint. That definitely. I always like Most Def, like from when he was with UTD, him and his brother,
Yes.
and then Medina Green and the whole Lyricist Lounge thing, and then like when he hooked up with Talib and went solo. I always loved his stuff. I think he's definitely an underrated MC, and his whole spirituality is like it shows within his music. I love that stuff about him. So
Yeah,
definitely want to discuss Mos Def one day.
yeah, man. If there was no Mos Def, there would be no Kendrick. I'm just gonna say that right now.
You think so? You compare Kendrick to Mos Def?
Yeah, even Kendrick said Mos Def is one of his influences and shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
and also he has a way better discography than Talib, if you ask me.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Definitely. I have a few of those Talib albums too, but like his first one was way better than the other stuff.
I feel you.
I almost put that on this list too. I was like, nah, it don't belong with a lot of these other albums. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Oh man. Number four for me is Illmatic, Nas, classic. Everybody knows this album. Represent, one of my favorites. One Love, It Ain't Hard to Tell. The World Is Yours. But World Is Yours is actually one of my ringtones on my phone. That's how much I love the song.
Same.
Great Peacock beat. New York State of Mind. I already hear people saying that they think Primo's gonna use that beat on the battle on Saturday. So if Primo used that beat to beat RZA, it's a wrap. But definitely classic. One of the, probably like I've said, this was like the hip hop of all albums. Definitely a great classic album. This is like the blueprint to make a classic hip hop album. I love it.
Okay, okay. All right. My next album on my list, Ludacris back for the first time.
Mm, okay.
Yeah. I always lately I've been on a hunt for some early Ludacris and shit like that.
And I told you I got Luda shit. You was like, oh, I don't want that Luda album.
Hold on, which one?
I, um, I told you I had two extra copies of Release Therapy. He was like, oh, I don't want that one. I want the other
Yeah,
one.
yeah, because I wasn't too crazy about release. I mean, I heard some choice from it. I wasn't too crazy about release therapy like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta go back and revisit that. 'Cause I didn't like what I heard over that album.
I mean, we'll talk about that album
Yeah.
one day. But
Yeah.
back
One day,
for
like way down the line, way down the line.
for real, I still want to talk about word of mouth though.
Oh yeah, Word of Mouth, definitely. That's one of his best. That's one of his best.
Exactly. But yeah, back for the first time, man. This is definitely well, technically, it's they redid the first album, which was Incognito and shit
Right.
like that.
Right.
But
Right.
yeah, so it's pretty much some people will call it his first, some people call it his second album, but fuck it. Um, Southern Hospitality alone, man, one
Mhm.
of Ludacris' most lyrical tracks.
Definitely.
Use a hole. Oh, like that's that shit.
I love
Um,
that.
fucking what's your fantasy? They even had a remix with Trina, Foxy,
Yeah.
and Shauna.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Like with this album from Ludacris, you can definitely tell he was influenced a lot by Redman and shit like that.
Right.
Just like with his punchlines and his delivery and stuff like that. So
Yeah. For sure.
definitely a very, very, very dope album.
No doubt. Number three for me, Chronic, classic album, classic. I have so many. Another great story I have. I remember I had a family friend that was staying with us. He was going through a bad divorce, his wife or whatever, and he was a barber and he used to cut hair. He was cutting my hair one day, and I had a homeboy that was living on my block, and he had came over with the Chronic tape, and he put it in the boom box, and it was like nothing I ever heard before. Like, and I didn't grow up on gangster. I didn't grow up on NWA. I didn't really get into gangster rap until like Ice Cube went solo. But when I heard the Chronic, I was like, yo, this is Dr. Dre from NWA. I'm like, yo, I gotta get this shit. And I ran to the record store and bought it. And I've been a fan of Dr. Dre since the Chronic, and it's always been one of those albums that I keep going back to. Even now, I still play it. And man, like the production on here alone was crazy. Like the beats on here, for Stranded on Death Row, and The day the niggas took over and oh man, G-Thang, Dre Day, Let Me Ride, and I love that. I love like that he sampled like the George Clinton stuff and infused that in his production and Snoop was in his bag all over this album, like Crazy Joints and Lady of Rage and the Dog Pound and I love it, man. Just a classic album, classic G Funk. Definitely had to. This could have been number one for me, but I love it. It don't even matter where I place it at. Just a classic all around.
Yeah, man. I definitely have to agree with you about the Chronic and shit like that. Yeah, I'm down sometime this year if you want to do a review on that album one day. I'm definitely down.
It's been done. Like everybody should know the Chronic, yo. It's been done already. Like what more could we say about the Chronic? You know what I'm saying? It's been done. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to spend too much time on albums like that because everybody know like those are household acts. Like everybody, my grandparents knew who that what the Chronic was. Like everybody knows that album. You know what I
True.
mean? That's a classic. I mean, if you want to do it, we could definitely do it, but it's not like something that I'm like planning on doing. Like, oh, like I gotta talk about the Chronic because it's
Oh
already
yeah,
been.
yeah,
You know what I mean? It's a household album now. You know what I mean? Like Michael Jackson Thriller, that's a household album. Like you know,
yeah. I mean,
but
like somewhere
definitely a
down.
huh?
I was saying like somewhere far down the line. If you want to talk about, it, I'm
Oh
down.
yeah, true, true. Cause that's an album that I still play. Like still be like let me play Stranded on Death Row. Let me play the Little Ghetto Boys. You know what I'm saying? So I still love that album. I still play it.
Facts, man. All right, so next album, 50 Cent, Get Rich, Die Trying.
Yes, I know Eric had that on his list earlier.
Yeah, I saw.
Yes, definitely.
Man, 2003 in hip hop, man.
Mhm.
Imagine you blasting the radio, you hear the beats of In the Club, and you're just like, what the fuck is this?
And,
Like,
and and to imagine that joint was for D12.
well, I can see that, but they would not. Nah, it would not have the same impact with
Nah,
D12.
hell no.
Shit. So yeah, this album was very influential. Like I remember when this album came out, like even though I didn't listen to hip hop like at 7 or 8 like that,
Right.
but just hearing this on the radio, watching BT and
Hmm.
stuff like that, just seeing the videos and stuff like that, and him going after Ja Rule,
Hmm.
it's crazy. Like this whole album just hip hop just stood still when this album came out, if that
Right.
makes sense.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Like songs like If I Can't, Many Men, many
Fire.
men. Ah, shit.
Fire.
Uh, PIMP. But
Love that.
but I have to give some shit.
Mm.
You get at Ja Rule for doing all these love songs, but what the fuck is 21
You're doing the
Questions
same
on
thing.
your album?
Exactly. Exactly. And people said that like many years later, like when all that was going on, there was everybody that was siding with 50. But many years later, you look back and be like, oh, in hindsight, he was doing the same shit Ja Rule was doing.
Exactly.
What's so different with 21 Questions and Mesmerize or Amusement Park and Always on Time? He was doing the same shit.
Now hold on, wait a minute. Mesmerize was just trash compared to 21 Questions.
I like Mesmerize. I've always liked that. I'm a Ja Rule fan as also, but I mean, but my whole point was like you was doing the same thing. You was doing the same thing that Ja Rule was doing, but you was criticizing Ja Rule for it. So I don't understand that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly, and shit like that. But I always thought 50 was a little influenced by Ja Rule too, but I'm gonna save that
Right.
convo for another day.
Yeah, he'll never admit to that though. Never.
Hell
He'll
no.
never admit to that.
Hell no.
You
But
know?
yeah, but he did it smart. The way
Right.
he the way he went after Ja Rule, he did that shit strategically and smart as fuck.
Exactly.
But yeah, this is definitely a very dope album. I'm in the process of getting this album very soon, so who
Right.
knows? A review on this album is much
I
needed.
need
Who knows?
I need to get the explicit one because I had you know what happened? This album was so in demand that there was some record stores that they were sold out of the explicit one and they were just selling the clean version.
Mm-hmm.
And my homeboy, he went at the time when he had went after work to pick up a copy for him, and he picked up one for me. But the one he picked up for me was the clean version, and I didn't like that. I don't have like clean version of albums. So I gave that one to a homeboy of mine that had he had moved to Sacramento. So I never replaced it, but I definitely need to get the explicit version of that album.
Yeah, I definitely need to get that too. I need to get the explicit version of the Chronic 2001. Now that we're speaking of it,
Right.
because that clean version sucks.
Yeah, you gotta have the explicit shit, man. I don't care who it is.
Shit, I mean that was the only way I can get the fucking album. My mom bought the clean version, so I was like
Right.
little, so I was like, fuck
Right.
it.
Yeah.
All right,
Crazy.
yeah, we got like 3 more albums left, right?
Yeah. I got two more. I'm on number two.
Okay, I
How
got
you
three
got
more
three
then.
more left? You got three more?
Yeah, I got 3 more. Let me
Okay.
count. Let me count. 7, 6, 5, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, Back Down was dope, Sam.
Oh, I got one extra one. Oops. Okay.
Oh, you got to. I about to say, how you got the one more than me? That's why I was like confused with the number count.
Okay.
Um, my number two, definitely another West Coast classic. I love this album. To me, his best album on Death Row, Doggy Style, Snoop Dogg, the OG copy with the extra bonus song, G's Up, Hoes Down. That was originally on the cassette. I had that on cassette before I got rid of my cassette collection, and I had to get the OG copy. Definitely a classic. Love the production by Dr. Dre, Gin and Juice, and Ain't No Fun. The Doggy Dog World. Love this album. Nothing more to be said about this album. Definitely a classic.
Okay. Well, for my one extra one, I'll just save that as an honorable mention. But I'm gonna go with Kendrick Lamar with Section 80.
That's a good one.
Oh
That's
yeah.
definitely
Yes, this is the original debut, not Good Kid, Mad City.
right.
Get it? And this is the one a lot of people ignore and
Yeah.
shit like that. But
Mhm.
yeah, this album right here, man, I first heard this joint. I want to say back 2012 or 2013, one of them years. I
Right.
was bumping this shit for the longest. Like, um, it's a very dark. I want to say this is probably his darkest album in his discography, if you ask me,
Right.
because it's pretty much a concept where he's telling a story about these girls named Tammy and Keisha
Right.
and stuff like that. And Keisha was a prostitute,
hmm
and basically Tammy was dealing with infidelity and shit like that. And
Right.
so you have certain songs, like some thought provoking songs, like No Makeup Advice. You have ADHD. I
hmm
love that song.
That's the first one I heard from him, ADHD, because there's a video for that.
Yeah, I want to say that was like the song that put him out there and shit.
Yeah.
Hold Up. Yeah, I love. Yeah,
hmm
him and Soundwave, man. Him and
Yeah.
Soundwave is always do dope shit together.
Oh yeah. High Power, that joint that J. Cole did for him.
Woo!
Love that beat.
Yes, yes.
Crazy.
Absol's outro, my nigga.
Yeah. That was fire. That was fire.
Real. I'm fucking glad I got a copy of it because this album is of course out of. It's not
Yeah.
really out of print, but it's hard to come by.
Right.
But I wish Kendrick would re-release this shit for his fans to listen to and
Right.
shit because this album right here has some heat. It got heat.
Oh yeah. Definitely. That was the first time I heard any Kendrick album. Like, and it's like a mixtape album, and I heard that, and then I went back and heard what's the Overly Dedicated, that joint.
Yeah, the mixtape. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
hot too.
yeah, that was dope too. And then he came out later with Good Kid, Mad City, but that the Section 80 was the first one I heard from him.
Yeah, and it's crazy too because Section 80. I remember I was jamming that shit in high school, but then when Good Kid, Mad City came out, that's when
Right.
all the fans.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even get me started with Pimp a Butterfly and shit.
Oh Lord. It was
But
a
it's crazy
wrap.
because Pimp a Butterfly, that's my favorite album from Kendrick. Keep it a buck with you.
Yeah, that's a solid album. I don't know why some people don't like it or some people like it. It's like a mixed
It was too
review for
black.
that. But
It was too black
yeah,
for the masses. That's all I'm gonna say.
well, he is black. Like, it's too black. He is black. Well,
Well,
he's not
see,
mixed.
yeah, but see, when an artist when they make a certain level of work that is so influenced by Afrocentric and that's too black, then
Right.
a lot of the mainstream would not fuck with it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, like with Cube when he did that certificate and shit.
Yep.
I see.
Yeah. Like they calling him anti-Semitic. You know, they
Right.
want to use those big words like
Hmm.
anti-Semitic or vulgar or some shit.
Right. Right. I thought it was a solid album. I mean, I don't think Kendrick ever drops nothing whack. That's just me. I think he has a solid discography.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah, this
you
this
know,
one
I
album.
don't, I don't, like I'm not rushing to call every album he done a classic though. Like that's what they did with Damn. And I'm like, Damn just came out. You already calling it a classic? You know what I'm saying? But I definitely feel like he is like I don't think he has a bad album at all. I think his discography is flawless.
Yeah, I think his discography is definitely flawless too and
Yeah,
shit like that.
you're right.
The thing about Damn, I think people are just more surrounded by the mystery of Damn and shit like
Mm,
that,
right.
as well with music because I know we have one more album left, but I'm gonna just say this quick thing.
But
But when Damn came out, I know a lot of people saying how there was two versions of Damn
right.
and stuff like that because
Hmm.
the backwards version,
Right.
and then the fact that I think this was like the first hip hop album to have a Pulitzer Prize.
Hmm.
Um, it for like 2017 when it was released, and for it to have like a very religious undertone towards it and stuff like that,
Hmm.
like influence it later on influenced albums like Chance the Rappers with the wait I actually know that album came first. I think did Coloring Book come first or did Damn come first?
I think Coloring Book that might have been after Damn because he got Chance got a Grammy for that. That was like 2 or 3 years ago.
2016, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so with those two albums and shit, a lot of people say it was just very religious and gospel hip hop in a way and stuff like that. And I feel like
Hmm.
sound wise, it was more of a risk for Kendrick than
Right.
Pimp a Butterfly.
Right.
So
Yeah, and you remember like the very first time he showed the album cover, and there was all this like hype around. It's two different albums. It's Damn Nation, and it's like Damn is the
yeah,
first one, and then Nation is the second half.
yeah,
And they would show like the when I first saw the like yo this can't be real because he looks high as fuck on the album cover and shit. And then that cover with all the songs was supposed to be the second half of the album with the DJ Premier tracks and all that we didn't get on the first one. And I'm like the hype was crazy for that album, but I think it's a great album, but I wasn't rushing to call it a classic. Like there was people putting Damn in the same conversations with with Illmatic. I'm like, it just came out. You already calling it a classic like Illmatic?
because
I'm like, you have to give these albums. Sometimes it take months or years before all of these albums we discussed. They took years for it to become classic. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was looking at Big L's album in '95 and saying, "Oh, this is a classic album." It became a classic over time, and with the untimely of his death or whatever. But nobody was calling that a classic back then. You know what I'm saying? These albums take like years, and the culture have to move with them so that they can become a classic. Nobody says, "Oh, this is a classic 5 minutes after they drop." You know what I mean?
yeah,
Crazy, but but yeah, like I love them. I think it's a dope album, and Kendrick is a dope artist.
I agree.
My number one album is Purple Tape. Love this album. My favorite Wu-Tang solo album ever. Love this album. Raekwon could do no wrong with this album. Every track on his fire. Production by the Riz. The RZA could play this whole beat album right now and beat Primo with it. That's how classic this album is. Any beat on here can beat what Primo bring to that battle. Whether it's incarcerated faces,
Hold up,
criminology,
hold up. Ooh,
what's the Glaciers of Ice. Any
wait a
beat on
minute.
here can beat what Primo bring. That's how I have that
Ooh,
much confidence in RZA. All he
hold up.
got to do is play the instrumental for this album, and it will beat Primo.
Oh, hold up,
To
hold
me,
up,
I
hold
love
up.
Primo, but I'm a Wu head. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
If I had to choose, if you have to tie my arm to my back, I'm picking RZA. But I love Primo. And if RZA see the thing. I heard somebody say if RZA, he's probably gonna do like some off the wall shit, which I hope he doesn't. But just give us like if it's 20 against 20 beats, give us the classic RZA shit from like 93 to like 99. Give us that RZA. If he put on anything from this album, it's over. It's over. It's over for Primo because this album is, to me, it's the best Wu solo album out of all of them. I love Takal and Iron Man and Liquid Swords, but this is it for me. This is it for me. Any joint on here, Spot Rushes, Wisdom Body, Wu Gambinos, any joint on here, Knowledge God, it will beat Primo. I'm telling you. Don't do some off the wall shit, RZA. Give us that vintage RZA. Because yo, what dude is saying makes sense because you know how RZA is. He doesn't follow what he doesn't. He's unpredictable, so he's gonna go off the deep end, and he might give us some shit from like one of them collabo albums he did with what's the dude name with the Banks dude. You know what I'm saying? That album he dropped a couple years ago that wasn't good. You know, he might do some off the wall shit. You know what I'm saying? Like if he's in his bag, give us that 90s RZA, that dusty shit RZA, like the gold fangs and Afro RZA. You know what I mean? 93 to 90, 98, 99 RZA. That's when he was in his prime. Not that shit that he did after that. You know what I'm saying? If you give us shit from Takal or Iron Man or Liquid Swords, Return to 36 Chambers, fucking even Capadonna's album, The Pillage. Like you give us any of that shit. All the Wu-Tang shit from Enter the Wu-Tang, Wu-Tang Forever, the W. Even the Iron Flag got some joints. It's not a shitty album to me. I thought it was dope. It just wasn't as great as the first two. But give us that dusty beat RZA. And if you put anything on this album, it's a rap for Primo. I'm telling you, I'm calling it right now. If RZA played a whole beat tape for this album, he's winning the battle on Saturday. Guaranteed. Purple tape is winning it. You gotta start with your. You gotta start. You can't start with your clean. The cleanup hitter is purple tape. You gotta start with the table setter. The table setter for me would be anything off of Liquid Swords or Return to 36 Chambers, and then you go into the Wu-Tang shit, the first two albums, and then if you want to get that home run, you call up the cleanup hitter, Mike Trout, purple tape. Anything off of purple tape is gonna win that battle. I'm
That's a
calling it
bold.
now. If RZA lose, you know why? Remember I said it here first. If he loses
Alright.
because he didn't use nothing from the purple tape to end Primo in the battle. You put on any beat on from the purple tape, it's a rap. It's a rap. And I love Primo. Primo could use MCs act like he use that beat from KRS. He could use the boom beat. He could use New York State of Mind. Any beat that Primo used. If you go against Cuban Link, it's a wrap. It's over. It's over. RZA was in his bag on this album.
Shit. Low key, man. I'm gonna say my album, and I'm gonna come back to that. Let me say my album. I'm gonna come back to that because I got.
What you think? You don't think RZA could win with just the beat tape alone, the purple tape?
Low key, but let's not forget, Primo got some shit that can equally balance the
I
production.
know, but if they got 20 beats to use in like the span of an hour, for RZA, Primo gonna we already know what Primo gonna bring. But if RZA stay in his bag and not try to go left field with shit, all he gotta do is use the shit, the first Wu-Tang albums, and the first couple of Wu solo albums. Bobby Digital is dope too, Eric. I'm not shitting on Bobby. That's a dope album, probably his best solo album. But the main shit, Takal, Liquid Swords, Purple Tape, ODB album, and Iron Man. That's the shit that's gonna be Primo. If he use that shit. If he don't, then we know why he lost. You know what I mean? Any beat, there's not a whack beat on Purple Tape. Any beat on there will end Primo. Any beat. Any beat. It's flawless. It's a flawless joint. Any beat will end what Primo is bringing in. That's what he used at the end. That's what you got to kill him with at the end of the battle. Any beat off of Rainy Days, fire. You know what I'm saying? Guillotine, fire. Any beat off of the Purple Tape will end Primo.
And this beat battle,
Unpopular opinion. I'm thinking if RZA do what I say, then he'll win. I'm going with the RZA for the win.
all right, well, my last album for this list is Rock Marciano with Mark Berg.
Ooh, that's one I didn't expect on this list. That's out of left field right there. That's a RZA move. That's a RZA move right there. I didn't expect you to say that.
I mean,
That's definitely a slept on debut album.
I mean, I told you from the get go I was gonna have some off the wall
True,
debuts
true,
because it
true. No,
wasn't
no
gonna
doubt,
be
no
the
doubt.
usual. Yeah, man. I would say like this is one of those debut albums that it definitely has this very strong boom bap. It's very reminiscent of '90s boom bap and shit. Rock Marciano ripped all of the songs, like no guest appearances, which you can't say that a lot about hip hop albums released in the last 15 years and shit.
Right,
Um, yeah, and he produced his own shit, which is I can have a lot of respect for and shit.
right.
So yeah, man, definitely dope album. Whatever is sick. Mark Berg, fucking the it's a crime joint. I love that shit. Yeah, man,
Mm.
definitely a very, very, very dope album.
Where do you rank Moxberg on his in his discography like with the other ones?
Mm, interesting. I would say I'm to be honest, I would say March because I gotta re-listen to Reloaded.
Right.
I definitely gotta re-listen to
And
Reloaded.
like even like the recent stuff like the Dark Horse and the Rosebud Revenge and all that.
Now I heard the Dark Horse joint back. I like Dark Horse.
Mm.
The one with Muggs. I fuck with the one with Muggs the most.
Chaos. I love that. That's
Yeah,
a classic to me too.
yeah. It's like I feel like the
Yeah.
late 2010s Muggs was on a renaissance and shit. If you ask me.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, oh.
Oh,
This was a dope. I'm glad we did this because this was dope. I was just thinking about it like, yo, we done or discussed nothing like that before. I want to do part two. I want to do like the groups next. Do like the
for real.
best debut albums from the groups, like East, West, South, all that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But
I,
I wanted, huh?
I also have the five extra Wu albums too. I was gonna also do.
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely,
Oh,
definitely.
but I'm gonna let you finish. I'm gonna let you finish.
Yeah, but I was just saying like, yeah, we gotta do part two with it. We're gonna do the groups next because just doing like just the top 25 of all time would have been hard. So I just was like, yo, let's just do the solo artists first, and then we'll do the groups as a second part. So we're gonna definitely do the second part like next couple of weeks or whatever.
Yeah, because the groups, man, that's gonna be another interesting list.
Oh yeah,
Because
that's gonna be good too.
yeah, because I also feel like it makes the list much harder and shit because
Right,
it makes the list much harder because then you have to think about which group album is better than the other one and stuff like that.
right, right. Oh
But
yeah,
yeah, I'm just gonna run down the
yeah,
Wu albums
yeah,
because we both gotta finish up the notes and stuff.
yeah.
But Tikal, of course, that's gonna be my first one
Yes.
Wu
That
album.
that 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 could have made my list. 'Cause I didn't want to put every Booth solo album in there. I was like, can we put my favorite from you know?
Exactly, because yeah, because Wu solo I would have taken up half of my list if to
Right.
keep it a bug. That's why I was like,
Yeah.
nah, I'm gonna save this for another list
He put like my best three in there.
for real. But I feel like Tikal is the most underrated Wu solo album of the first wave. If you ask me.
It is. I was underwhelmed when it came out. I expected more to give us like, those big collabs and you know what I mean? Like cause he was already a star before he came out with the solo album, you know what I'm saying? But I was underwhelmed with the album and it was real dark. So he took like a different direction for that album. But definitely when you look back at his discography now, his first two are definitely the best in his discography.
Exactly. Yeah, because with this album, people were expecting a lot more. I think like with this album, what really set it off was of course, the "I'll Be There for You" remix and shit.
Right, right.
Because the original, I like the original, but I have
Mhm.
to admit the Razor Sharp mix is my favorite.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, with that edge, with
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
that shit right there is iconic.
Yeah.
Um, Release Your Death with Blue Raspberry, I love that
Yes.
shit.
Love that drink.
Um, Biscuits, ooh,
Yes. That's fire.
of, of course, Bring the Pain, man. I love that shit,
Mhm.
man. Of course,
Love that.
but yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite Wu albums of all time. To Cal.
Mhm. PLO style.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Love that drink.
All right. Next is gonna be Only Built for My Cuban Links.
Mm.
Yeah, this one right here is definitely um I mean there's nothing what else should be said about this album. It's a very iconic album.
Hmm.
I just want to say that I always love the album cover. I
I
don't
love it.
I always
I
love
love it.
that's one album cover I never hear a lot of people talk about. Just
And
like
the audacity of hold up, the audacity of fans to even compare this album with the recent J Electronica album, because I was hearing that too. Oh
oh,
well, Jay Z is the Ghostface to J Electronica's. You comparing Raekwon and Ghostface to Jay and J Electronica?
whoa, that's
Like,
black,
you know what I mean?
yo.
That album it fails in comparison to Cuban Link. That I won't even remember that album after this year's over.
You know what? Fuck this. I'm gonna do a review on that J Electronica. I'm gonna talk about shit. Cause I'm sick of this shit. I'm
Yo,
honestly I'm sick of this shit. I'm
it
hearing
was
people saying
people.
it's the
I'm
greatest
like,
album.
for like I definitely would never put that album on this list for like debut albums because Jay Z
Hell
shitted on him. Jay Z
no. Hell
shitted on every track that he was on. You know what I'm saying? And
no.
that's
10
rare because
years. 10
oh yeah,
motherfucking years for this album. And this is the shit he
exactly,
comes up with.
exactly. I'm like, you're comparing this to Cuban Link? Like y'all are bugging. Cuban Link wasn't some team up album and they just were like, oh, I'm gonna put my man on it. No, Ghostface just fit on those tracks because
Exactly.
Ray and Ghost always had that chemistry within the clan. Like it just fit. It was natural. But when you put Jay Z on your first album and on every album he's killing you, on every track he's killing you, that's not a debut album. That's a team up album. That's like Watch the Throne Part Two.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's like it's no comparison. The beats alone don't fuck with no beats on Cuban Link.
The beats alone don't even fuck with Sagon's album.
Not even. Saigon album was way better. Way better. That's why I had it on my list. Way better.
But yeah, man. Yeah, let's get back to this album because
Yeah.
I'm gonna save my shit for that album. I'm sick and tired of overhyping
We,
motherfuckers.
we on black people time and shit.
And then niggas over here being Muslims because of this motherfucking album and shit.
Crazy.
Over here reading the
Crazy.
Quran because they think they're reading the Quran with this fucking album. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. But anyway, yeah, with the only bill for my Cuban links, man, Heaven and Hell,
Yeah.
Ice Water, like
Fire.
Glaciers of Ice,
Fire.
and I'm glad I got the CD because I have the fucking North Star Jewels with fucking Old Dirty Bastard at his most soulful, chilling background vocals.
Mm-hmm.
Papa Wu talking that shit. Rest in
Mm-hmm.
peace to Papa Wu. And Raekwon, of course, dropping some jewels, basically. Like, North Star Jewels alone is just so. Woo!
Yeah.
I just feel like the ending of a gangster movie. Old
Yeah.
Dirty Bastard just harmonizing. That shit. Oh, fuck, man. Whole fucking
Fire.
album is so ill. That shit.
I'm telling you, RZA, use that last.
Yo,
You beat Primo.
oh, yo, Eric, Retro Godfather's that shit, yo. Yo,
Yes.
shout
That
out
was
to you
fire.
for that shit.
Oh yeah.
Yo, I might pull another rhythm move. I'm gonna say heavy mental.
Mm. Wow. I was supposed to we supposed to discuss that last week.
But
Definitely
yeah,
got to do that for sure for Wednesday.
definitely.
Definitely got to do that.
Yeah. For all y'all J Electronica fans, if y'all want real knowledge up your ass, listen to this shit right here. Yeah, this shit right here is so ill. I love this album, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like everyone knows One Step.
Mm-hmm.
But fucking the Tai Chi song, I love that one.
That's dope.
Which one? Of course,
Fake MCs.
yep, Fake
That
MC.
shit is fire.
Then he did his own version of
Right.
BIBLB. Yeah, fuck it.
Right.
Yeah, I can't spell right now. Fuck it.
Bible.
But fuck it. Science projects and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And even this was like one of the best albums that was not even produced by RZA. Dead ass.
Right. Right.
True
Or
Man,
Disciple.
Fourth Disciple, man. Like,
Mm-hmm.
very dope album.
I agree. Fire.
And the last Wu album, drum roll please.
Drum roll.
Spectre Dex, Uncontrolled Substance.
Dope. Dope album.
Underrated as fuck.
Oh yeah.
Cause, everyone knows about the infamous flood in the basement and shit like that. Because I
Right.
think he had two floods actually.
Yeah.
And I think this was the second one that happened. And so most of the tapes that was the original version of this album. And some songs you could have heard he splashed here and there, but it wasn't
Right.
until 1999 that this album came out and stuff like that. And this one has always been a personal favorite when it comes to albums. Like Elevation alone is probably one of my favorite Inspector Deck songs. Like that beat, that dun 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 dun.
Right.
I love that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Femin Fatale, Movers and
Right.
Shakers. Yeah, this album next to Supreme Clientele and to Cal 2000 are my favorite albums from the second wave of Through albums.
Dope.
Yeah, and
Definitely.
that's my extra
Both
list right
solid. Both solid. Definitely. The early Inspector Deck, like Rec Room and Let Me At 'Em.
there. Yeah.
If RZA made a whole album like that, we would have been having a classic discussion as well.
Oh, facts.
You know.
Niggas ain't ready. Niggas ain't ready for that shit, man. Niggas ain't. I gotta be hyped, man. This Saturday is
For
gonna
sure.
be.
Oh yeah.
But
I'm telling you, RZA, take my advice. Let what he beat from Link, he's gonna be primo. Some other shit, I don't know. If it's not nothing from he's ever like he did for like Lost Tapes 2, he's gonna lose.
right.
RZA for the win if anything from 98, 99. Especially on the Wu solo albums.
Exactly.
All right, man. Thanks everybody for being here, Eric. And shout out to Killer Tapes and Ruminate. That's the homie on Instagram. Everybody's been supporting us, me and Reg. Shout out to y'all. We definitely coming back in another hour with Sticky Fingers, Black Trash Review. Everybody been waiting for that.
Oh yeah.
About it. I gotta go finish my notes. So I will definitely see you at 9:15, 9:20?
Oh, we're gonna do 9:45.
Okay, cool. 9:45. That's cool. No doubt. We're definitely gonna come back next week. But what we doing next week? We doing the intro joint. I know we gotta do the Killer Priest. That was supposed to be last week, but next week. So
Yeah, we can do
for
intro
that,
next week.
live from now on. That was in here, keep supporting, subscribe to the channel, giving you that different shit. So thanks a lot for the support, man.
Appreciate it, yo. This was
All right.
fun.
Oh yeah, definitely. We definitely gonna do part two in a couple of weeks. We definitely do the best albums from groups of all time.
Oh yeah.
Like 5 again. So look out for that.
Yo, I'm gonna hit you up later, okay?
All right, cool.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.